Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory lives just as it stood, like a quiet dream. The shadows of that time are cast beneath the streetlight beam as the world moves on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. Please make sure you hit the like if you haven't already done so, or share the video. I want to welcome you to another beautiful Saturday conversation. So today, if you look at it, like last show, we talked about Ghana, accepting, Trump's deportation plan. So today I'm going to talk about, Burkina Faso also being presented the same thing. And, the beauty about it is now we've gained more knowledge because, Burkina Faso's perspective, and, if you look at it, they have a leader who is revolutionary, who, is in building mode, even though the West might present him as like, okay, the military coup, they might be like, oh yeah, that's terrible. That makes him a dictator. But if you look at him compared to Ghana, so now Ghana is in a funny place. Because remember, when I did the last show, if you haven't seen it, go back and see it. Ghana accepted Trump's terms. And, we presented what made them accept this. And, we're going to see from Burkina Faso's response, you would have the clear picture. And then I'm going to go on to the other story, which is the no citizenship for the blacks in Burkina Faso. Because in case you are not up to date with this, there's a lady named Dr. Arikana. I've done a show on her before. So she was a former AU ambassador, African Union. Because what I've noticed is a lot of these people that talk about Pan-Africanism, they came from the old school. You see, they came from the old school and somehow they live in this fantasy world where they've read books, right? So in these books, it's talking about maybe some black person that did some sort of heroism. Because the fact of the matter is, every individual have different experience depending on your environment. It's like when some of these black FBAs, like the extremists, who would challenge Africans and be like, "Oh, where are your Malcolm X and stuff? Oh, where is your Nathan?" I'm like, we wouldn't have it because we weren't slaves in a plantation. So the environment did not call for that. Where's your Malcolm X? Okay, if I'm a Malcolm X in Gambia, who am I going against? They forget that they the Malcolm X, someone like Malcolm X exists because of the environment he came from. Things were based in race. So that's what he speaks of. So if you want to challenge an individual who didn't come from that environment, your thought process and their thought process is going to be completely different. So we have that story here where Arikana, Dr. Arikana, you know, I think last year or sometime took some quote unquote some blacks who want to be seen as revolutionaries. These are old school people because they've heard about Burkina Faso. You know how, like, a lot of these Pan Africans, what I've noticed in America, right? The blacks do not have, you know, their own real heroes. So their heroes have become people that you see in movies. And some of the people they call their heroes, even though those people are operating in the mindset of saying it's skin color, but it's more like they are more like communists. For example, like Stokely Carmichael, you know, the Black Panther parties, people, groups like that, those are like Marxist groups, right? But they are just operating in black skin. So the way they do it is they want to force you to say, just simply because you're black, you have to accept what they are saying. But the more I look at it, the more I see that the Pan Africans thing is like a subculture in the American mainstream. It is not all black Americans that subscribe to this, okay? Because there are, there's like 43 million black Americans. There are some who have truly assimilated and have embraced America as their nation, as their culture. So those people love this country, they serve this country, and they live it, their lives. And then you have those people generally, sometimes they will be in the amongst the bourgeois, but depending on their skin tone, because you see the ones that are lighter, it's only in America, by the way. If you have a white parent and a black parent, they get to describe, you are labeled as black. Talk about the new world. So America is the new world. So a lot of the blacks are not assimilating to that. So those people who are half and half, like a Barack Obama, they are confused because they are like, wait, my mother is white, or my dad is white, my other parent is black. Why am I considered black? What? So the blacks don't fully accept them. So the whites don't fully accept them. So those people become the angry one. If you notice, they are the super quote unquote Pan African. So they push the racial stuff. Because to be honest, like the stories that we are about to touch here, like the blacks claiming birthright in West Africa, they no longer have any birthright in West Africa. And I know most people are not gonna like this, but that's the truth. Like their ancestors, as harsh as it may sound, they were sold. They were sold at a time when, this nation did not even exist. But today, like we have African nations. For example, I'll give myself as an example here. Like I've moved to like this completely different community. Not moved, but I bought huge land there. I'm not from there. I'm not even the same tribe as those people. So, for example, what if I come from a tribe who are the conquerors, dominant tribe, whose people were not enslaved, for example. So you are sitting here in America fantasizing, talking about, man, I want to move back to the motherland, and the only way I can attach is through DNA or so. So you do some sort of DNA. And then I happen to be a large landowner over there. And they pretend to tell you that you are related to me. What if I was the conquering tribe? You see what's happening? So the past no longer exists. It doesn't exist, because if you are to trace your ancestry, it should also show your Anglo-Saxon ancestors, the white people in your family. But have you noticed their DNA? I mean, they can be as light skinned as Kaepernick. Even Kaepernick, his DNA came as a Ashanti. I mean, come on now. Anyone could have guessed that. The man is literally almost related to Donald Trump. So, but his DNA came out to say he's from Ghana. Kamala, same thing. So the whole thing, especially after the year of return in 2019, we have to look at this in an honest fashion, you see, because African nations are in building mode. These are new nations. This is 2025. Africans have no interest, no longer, in these slave stories. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is the fact. But because the blacks, they worship celebrities, and I'm going to prove this to you. The quote unquote celebrities are their guides. So that's how Arikana was able to take them to Burkina Faso. And look, I'll be honest. If you look at Arikana, now you have the blacks running around saying, oh, Arikana scammed us. And if you go back and look at some of my videos, I was harsh on Arikana. But I'll play the devil's advocate here. What if truly Arikana, her heart is in a good place? Because Arikana is amongst these Negroes. They read these books. They read about Thomas Sankara. Because if you look at it, the blacks here, they want to be heroes so bad. Imagine you were enslaved by the white people, all these years, and you didn't even free yourself. They freed you. They fought each other to free you. This is why they can just talk about Natona. They, create these fantasies about heroes. The true heroes exist in Africa. That's right. Where like you go toe to toe. Look at the heroes there in Africa. Even Mugabe, he had to go against a white army. But the blacks, they fantasize about this in America. So, but they also played their role. I'm not dismissing it. Obviously, in this environment, they didn't just sit around and fold their hands. But if you look at the Civil War, it was white versus white to free the blacks. And now the blacks came to this awareness, they didn't have their own nations. The opportunity they had, to be independent and be free, they used it to fight, to move in with the whites, to eat with the white people. And if you look at it, it's their Motisa class, the light skinned class, because those people are mad at their white relatives. So they got the angry educated blacks, because you see, like, what happened is the blacks went to school and they learned about how good the whites are living. And so the educated black class feel like they are above all these other Negroes. They don't need to be. Do you think those people, do you think the average Negro in the black neighborhood back in those days wanted to go moving with white people, the regular blacks? No, they were not interested. The blacks were fine. They had their own businesses, but it is the light skinned one, the educated ones, because they feel rejected by their white side. Because, I mean, I noticed that in America, the white people have developed a system, where they just dump garbage on black. The Africans became the dumping ground. And I would highlight that here you would see that even right now, African nations, they want to make it a dumping ground, even with humans, you see? So, like you would see, just imagine the blacks celebrating Kaepernick. Someone, they're like, yeah, he's our black hero. I mean, like, Africans are like, wow, these people are lost, because the blacks are desperate for their master to like them. You know, so now they feel like the the white people are not accepting them, because after they marched, they forced the white people to take them into their restaurants, accept them into their institutions, and yet still the blacks are not happy. And believe it or not, before all that civil rights stuff, there were intelligent blacks who were going into this higher education, no problem. But again, the mulatto class is the one that dragged them. And once again, they are not happy. The mulatto class is who is about to drag them to Africa. And the blacks, they're gonna come out. They act like, yeah, you all Africans are the ones that invited us. Remember they did that with Gambia? Gambia never invited the blacks. Ghana is the only one that came out and invited the blacks. The year of return. Remember that in 2019? That was when Trump came. Trump was in power. So they are about to repeat the same thing. So maybe, this segment of the blacks, these are the ones who have a lot of, like, deep Nigerian admixture. Let me explain. Because I did my research thoroughly, guys. I went on the internet and I checked. And you can see, even in Africa, there are people who, like, they call it Jakpa. They would make videos about how you can relocate to which Western countries. This is very prevalent amongst, like, the Nigerians. So just like the blacks now, they are doing similar things. They are searching for countries who are going to give them citizenships in Africa. So I'm beginning to think this is not even about the external things we're seeing. This is probably in the DNA. It's like similar. They are saying similar thing, but the opposite. Because think about it, the blacks are citizens of the strongest country in the world. Think about that. If you go to Africa, like especially West Africa, they have the youngest populations. And yet you got people talking about, oh, the Africans are fleeing. No, they are not fleeing. We are not fleeing. The population is young. Majority are under 25. So the testosterone is high, the energy is high. So they want to explore. They want to explore all types of opportunities out there. So, you got people coming from the West after working all these years for the white man. serving massa until they got the pension. Then they show up to Africa old. You know they're not about to build anything. Let's just call a spade a spade. First, like they pretend, oh, we're gonna, build in Africa. Then those same people, because there are people who truly believe in this, by the way. I'm not gonna sit here and discount and say, there are black people, all of them are thinking alike. Even in this quote unquote their Pan-African culture, there are some who truly believe in this. They want to, explore and try to build. As you can see examples, there are some of the people who are not about just talking. Like you go to Ghana, other places, they built. So among the bunch, there are people who it's not about fantasy. They actually want to do this. So Arikana is being accused of taking advantage of them. So I don't know how true this is. Maybe it is just the blacks' own fantasy. Because you see, when African presidents, like I listened to Traore's speech in Ghana. So he was talking about, the Burkina diaspora. So let me make this clear for the blacks today. Because, the blacks have main character syndrome. They think everything is about them. But when you hear African nations, except if it's Ghana, when you hear the president say, our diaspora, they're not talking about you, the blacks. They're talking about someone like me, like I have an original nation. So, like when Traore was talking about his diaspora in Ghana, he wasn't talking about you, the black in America, because you are not their diaspora. You're not from Burkina Faso. But you see, when Traore said, our diaspora, you should come, whatever skills you have, you bring it, join us, let's do the work. As then the blacks ran on the internet. Oh, Traore is extending invitation to us to come. I was like, oh Lord. No, he wasn't talking about you guys. He is talking about his people like maybe Saint James. He's a Burkina Faso diaspora. You see? But now the blacks are desperate. They want citizenship in Burkina Faso. They want to come close to Thomas Sankara's legend. And look, there are some of these people amongst that group. Look, yes, truly. I mean, I've met some black people in real life. They about that life, but it's not most of them. Some of these people, they are about this life. So that's why it's easier for the others to, scam them, because they truly believe this. Like I've met black people who, okay, yes, truly they might not know deep more about Africa, but they know ancient history. They are really into this stuff, So those people who know about Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, like the past Africa, those people are stuck in that. And for whatever reason, they want to explore that before they die. Some of these people want to set their foot in Africa. It doesn't matter where, they want to go. They also want to get like a passport that says an African nation. But what they don't realize is that world that they yearn for, that world they are seeking, that thrill, that fantasy, that Africa they seek no longer exists. The truth is, you're coming as a foreigner. And many blacks, when they show up, just like in Ghana, year of return, they brought the Kente people, doing the Ashanti dance, like, we saw videos, people going to the Elmina Castle, dropping down on their knees, feeling like they got the spirit of their ancestors crying. But after the honeymoon was done, the real Africa kicked in. They went to the street talking to young Africans. They're like, man, what the hell are you doing over here? We trying to come to America. Then you got some of the people, they're like, man, these Africans, they don't know what they got over here. They want to come to America. In America, the police harass me, blah, blah, blah. So you are telling them your story. But then they get mad at someone like me, for example. They told me, like what I read and saw about America before I got here, it was a wonderful place. And then I got here. It matched my experience, and I'm living that wonderful experience. But people would be like, man, you shouldn't enjoy America because you came from Africa. You see how crazy it is? But these same people forgot that. That place they went to is not about skin color. You are a foreigner over there. So they give them ceremonial citizenship. You can't vote, you can't run for office. But you see, for us, for me, it's smart to come here because my citizenship is real. I can vote, I can run for office. So it's real. You see? So, but I don't want to keep you waiting. Let us go straight to the first story here. Let me give you the first story about Burkina Faso rejecting, Trump's deportation plans. Last time, for instance, give me a moment here. Like Ghana is currently the only country in West Africa. Imagine Ghana is supposed to be the birthplace of Pan-Africanism. So today is the best day to, bring the topic. So Burkina Faso, President Trump tried to strong arm them to accept, deportees from the US. So let me let you guys hear for yourself what Burkina Faso said. Here we go.
And moving on to West Africa now, the junta-led Burkina Faso has refused to accept deportees from the United States in a snub to one of President Donald Trump's signature migration policies. Rejecting the deportations, Burkina Faso's military government said the US proposal is indecent and runs completely contrary to the principle of human dignity. Since Trump's return to the White House, his administration has struck several migration deals, deporting people to third countries, often to nations with which they have no connection. This is a part of a sweeping immigration crackdown, high on Trump's agenda. A growing number of African nations have accepted US deportees, including Eswatini, Ghana, Rwanda, Uganda, and South Sudan. Other countries include El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, and Honduras. Burkina Faso has refused to join the list. Now, just ahead of Burkina Faso's refusal, the US Embassy in Ouagadougou announced the suspension of regular visa services for most citizens. Instead, the Burkina citizens will now have their visa services handled.
So, are you guys hearing this? So this is the heat that Ghana could not take. Okay? That's the heat that Ghana could not take. But let's hear this before we get into the full stories here.
In Lomé, the capital of neighboring Togo. Now, the Burkina government has accused the US of exerting pressure and has called it blackmail. The country's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, styles himself as an anti-imperialist, pan-African strongman. Since seizing power in a coup in September of 2022, he has shunned France and the West. The country has ousted all Western troops and...
So, So if you look at it, despite, how like here Africans, we roll in smooth, right? So like the blacks here, they play Halloween costume. If they wear a uniform like Traore, they gotta be serving the white man's army. They're not about to do no coup here in America. So, in one way, they are, living through Africans by proxy, because they're looking at Traore, a man on the 40 years old, came and conquered the French. He's in his military outfit and now challenging Trump. So I can see, and the blacks feeling like, oh man, we want to cosplay the Africans. We want to be like Thomas Sankara. We want to be like Ibrahim Traore. And this is all unfolding right here on the internet. So, the blacks are like, man, we want to be a part of these people. We're tired of eating cheeseburgers in America. That's a joke, but here we go.
Has forged closer ties with Russia. Now, apart from Burkina Faso, Nigeria also refused to accept Venezuelan deportees or third country prisoners from the US, stating that it will not.
See, shout out to Ahmed Tinubu. Tinubu is like, oh, hell no. You guys remember, people would have been like, oh yeah, Tinubu is a puppet. But you see, Tinubu is like, nah, man, you ain't about to bring no damn Venezuelans into Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, you ain't bringing nobody who's not from Nigeria. So if you look at it, so a lot of the ones that are just into the business, they are in the east and the southern part of Africa. In West Africa, only Ghana went for it. So if you look at the language that's been used from the Burkinabés, the reason they are giving why they don't accept this, that should be concerning, to show that their idea about humanity is different from Ghana, other African nations that reject it, because Burkina Faso is saying this is inhumane. They don't think, this is the way to treat others. So Ghana accepting that, what type of message is Ghana sending then? You see the difference here? So let's hear more. See, Tinubu, say what you want about him, but he rejected it. So here we go.
Bow to pressure from the Trump administration. While the move by some African nations to accept deportees is seen as a way to maintain ties with the US, such deals have faced ethical and legal challenges, both international.
Well, let me translate that part. The countries that accept it said to maintain ties, meaning they want to continue to be able to beg the US. They chose Massa over Africa. So there's no Pan-Africanism as far as they are concerned. So here we go.
Nationally and within the United States. Critics argue that some deportees face unsafe or inhumane conditions upon return. For example, in Ghana, migrants deported last month have filed a lawsuit against the government alleging illegal detention in a military camp.
So did you guys hear this? So Ghana is accepting people from other countries and then detaining them in military camp. So let's hear more how Ghana played other Africans.
Lawyers say their clients were dumped in neighboring Togo and are now left to fend for themselves. Several observers argue that with such deportations, Africa is becoming a dumping ground for Western nations, while the people of several of these countries face crises of their own. Even though several African nations have continued to strike deportation deals, Burkina Faso's standoff highlights that resistance to the pressure from the West still remains strong.
All right, you've seen and heard that. So the lady, you've seen and heard it. Burkina Faso, their stance, is clear. They are not about to allow Burkina Faso to be used as a dumping ground. Okay. So now let us go to, you know, let me bring you Arikana. When she went to Burkina Faso, the speech that she gave. And, this speech is, for example, the people that are saying, oh, because I've seen videos, they're like, oh, the Arikana is scamming us, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and they even accuse Burkina Faso of scamming. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. Do you think Burkina Faso have the time currently, like what they are facing, to think about scamming the blacks? What can the blacks possibly bring over there? And even Arikana, I don't believe that, unless people bring me real evidence, I don't think Arikana did it to, scam people. I believe that Arikana is one of those people, right? Because she has been consistent for years. She's one of those people who, like, she truly believe in this greater Africa idea. You can feel it from the way she speaks. She's from the old school, ZANU PF, Zimbabwe, freedom fighters. For example, even myself, like, I think I misunderstood her, but I think she believes in this movement. So going to Burkina Faso, I think that energy, because if you guys remember, she worked, at the UN or at the AU. France was the reason she lost her job, because she gave speech about France. So she's had it out for France for a long time. So with her, we can even tie her motivation to that, to see France, her bully, the country that bullied her because of her speech, and then seeing a young man, Traore, coming, as she put it, in the spirit of Thomas Sankara, to come and challenge the French in her country and kick them out. I mean, people. I mean, think about it, right? I mean, I don't know. For example, like someone is saying she stole money. I mean, that may be so, but she is holding a grudge against France. She always talks about them. So Arikana possibly, so she took a group to Burkina Faso to go visit, you know, uh, Ibrahim Traore. Because as you guys know, Traore, he is very popular, you know, on social media. I mean, amongst the African leaders, he's like one of the most popular ones. He is young, visionary, and he is truly putting the work in. So he's popular on social media. So his message reaches, Western people. So the people that are Pan-African, they are like, okay, let's go to Burkina Faso. So I don't know what they discussed with Arikana. I don't know if it's a Juliet situation. You guys remember Juliet in Gambia? Juliet was talking about like the automatic citizenship. So to me, people that are blaming Arikana, how can you blame Arikana, ladies and gentlemen? You are telling me you are a black person today in 2025 in the United States of America. You have access to all types of information. You mean to tell me you did not, before you even think about the citizenship, you did not take the time to vet and look up Burkina Faso? First of all, you would have known that they speak French in Burkina Faso. Your skin color is not about, just because you got the same skin color don't mean anything. Burkina Faso they speak French over there. How do you suppose, even if you are given that citizenship, how are you going to navigate the place? You have to think about that. So if you had taken the time as well, you would have seen that in Burkina Faso, yes, Traore is over there, getting the job done. He is doing more than what the people before, prior to him did. You see? So they are in building mode. The citizens in Burkina over there, everybody is volunteering. They are building their roads. They are trying to, build infrastructures. At the same time, they are facing real battle, fighting jihadis. I'm talking about all-out war. So they've got security situation, infrastructure situation, and then here comes these Negroes from America, playing, they think it's Halloween, wearing their red beret because, they think that's what makes you a revolutionary. Because giving good, beautiful speech, that's what makes you that. No, for you to ask for that citizenship comes with, responsibility. For example, for me to be a US citizen, even when I first came to the US, before I can have access to any benefit, I had to register. In this, they register me in the selective service, meaning if there's war where they need to draft people, I would be drafted. You understand this? That's what it is. So for me, these blacks, these are mostly middle-aged and old people. I mean, they don't know the language there. They don't know the culture. What type of expertise would they be bringing there? It's not going to be battle expertise unless they're going to bring money. You see? But in Africa, that's not the only thing that is needed. Like the people are out there working. So Traore did not scam anyone. So these people, they are like, oh yeah, they took our money. Traore is even involved in this. Are you crazy? So this is, like Benin. Benin is open like Ghana. It's inviting you to come. Why aren't they going there? Juliet did the same thing in Gambia. You guys remember this? She said they want automatic citizenship. They started talking about the 6th region. That's because they sold this to naive Black people here who want to live their fantasy of someday going to Africa, being back in the motherland. As if, they forgot that they left Africa, their ancestors left as a tribe. They came back as, you don't only have Black in you, you got Irish, German, French. Lord, who knows? Cherokee. So at this point, you are a completely new person in the new world. But I'm not saying this to say you cannot move to Africa. I'm just saying, right? If you want to move to Africa, you have to be willing to put in the work. The place is not developed like here. No. So you have to have your plans. What is your plan in Burkina Faso? So let me show you this video. Let me show you this video of Arikana when she took some of the Blacks over there. Here we go.
In the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traore, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara
So clearly you can see. So Arikana, so I mean, we've been seeing all these different people doing their tours. Look, I'm not throwing shade at anyone. They would take groups to, different African countries, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, some people working on Liberia. So I don't blame those people. But you see, these quote unquote tour guides, what are they telling the group? So we are hearing maybe Arikana have given this speech before. So now they are clapping. She's got her red beret, you know, and her red shirt. So the conversation here, the way the blacks hear the speech and the way Africans hear it are two completely different things. So you got to take that into account. So here we go.
President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created...
Wait. Are you guys hearing? What's wrong with, why do communists like red? So she talked about ancestors and then she went to 1963. Like, what the hell? So look, I hate to tell you. I mean, yeah, Arikana, her heart might be in a good place. I don't know. But these type of speeches, this should give you a clue that there's something don't sound right. It sounds too good to be true. Okay? So she's using her voice, she's speaking, and maybe this speech right here was supposed to bring her a lot of back. Maybe she needed Burkina Faso to be able to make a lot more money. Who knows? So let's hear more because I know that Arikana was part of the, what is it called again? The Wakanda in Ghana. You guys remember that? Or in Senegal? So here we go.
The Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa.
So, goods, like here in America, you give this type of speech to the blacks, like they are happy. It's like it's all about sensation, emotion, the past. I mean, like we exist in 2025. I mean, come on now. Okay, I get it. Like people been fighting all this revolution stuff. Okay, can we get good roads? Like, can we talk about building good roads, infrastructure, like clean up the street, like get stable electricity, water? Like, can we discuss this? How come these Pan Africans don't want to discuss stuff like this? They just like to dress in their red costumes and hats, come out here, they start, playing with our minds, telling us about errors. Like they want to talk about slavery, colonization. Like I've never lived during those eras. And most of you watching me weren't born either. So what is it about me worrying about times that I did not exist in? So these Pan Africans, to me, I think they are playing Halloween. What do you guys think? Look at Arikana. She's all dressed up in her red communist shirt. She got her red beret, and she talking about the past in Africa. Arikana, can we talk about 2025 just for a change? But you see, Negroes like to fantasize. They like to fantasize about the past. So let's hear more.
Africa must unite, and Burkina Faso has shown us the way.
No, 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 no. See, Arikana, this is a scam. So Arikana is from Zimbabwe. You guys have heard about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is doing, better than Burkina Faso economically and security wise. Everything is stable. Most of their infrastructure is built by white people, and they have a great Pan-African story because you see, Zimbabwe, they freed themselves. Mugabe went against the white people over there. Him and his ZANU PF people, Zimbabwe used to be called Rhodesia, and the last white leader there, his name was Ian Smith. Ian Smith, that's who Robert Mugabe removed in a fierce battle. I'm not talking about just talking about going to vote. No, I'm talking about the barrel of the gun. So that's a great Pan-African story, wouldn't you think? Blacks going against white people in the battlefield, and black people prevailing. So you would think Arikana should take the group to Zimbabwe. Don't you guys think? Zimbabwe. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to Burkina Faso, but if you are going to Burkina Faso right now, what Burkina Faso need? Because the young people, even in Burkina Faso, go check the videos. They themselves are the ones volunteering. They are building their roads. So if you just want to play Pan-Africanism on the internet, you should go to Zimbabwe, because at least over there, you would see a bunch of revolutionaries. You can dress in, I mean, they do the red dress beret out there. What's with the southern part of Africa? Always wearing their red berets and dancing and stuff. Malema, all those people. Did you guys hear about Malema about to go to prison? I'll do a show on that. But let's hear a little bit here again, and then you will see the disappointment in the blacks.
They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore, there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it.
All right. So you got the idea. You've seen and heard that. So clearly, look, this lady is not making any sense. Before Burkina Faso, before Traore was even born, before he was born, Mugabe came from the country where Arikana is from. She was part of that revolution, I bet. Mugabe did it first. Why isn't she teaching about Mugabe? Why isn't she teaching about Zimbabwe? So, look, I was trying to be nice, but I'm not sure about what Arikana is doing over there. So, from this speech, they did photo ops, whatsoever. It's good speech. Then the blacks went on the internet and started telling each other that, oh, Burkina Faso is inviting us to come and get citizenship. So let us hear from this one young lady here. Here we go. I want you guys to hear this.
Breaking news: President Ibrahim Traore has officially rescinded his offer for citizenship to the African diaspora. According to my contacts on the ground, on the continent, Phoenix Rains, she has let me know that the word is that President Ibrahim Traore has gone ahead and rescinded his initial.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did she say Phoenix Rains? Why does that name sound familiar? Look, guys, refresh my memory. This same Phoenix Rains, isn't this the lady in that was years ago in Gambia? You see, the blacks are acting like gypsies. Are the blacks the gypsies, the African gypsies? What is going on? Why are they roaming all over Africa looking for different citizenships? What is going on with the blacks? Can somebody please help me understand what is going on with the blacks? Why are the blacks roaming all over Africa looking for different citizenship? What is going on? What is wrong with the blacks? That's what I want to know. So she came on, she said, oh, breaking news. President Ibrahim Traore rescinded, you know, his, about giving them citizenship. Are you guys hearing this? Traore never offered them citizenship. I don't know what, maybe Arikana told them something in their meeting, but we don't know this. So are these people pretending like, oh, you know what? Since we're gonna show up in our red berets to Burkina Faso, we're gonna say, talk about Thomas Sankara. We've read books, and we're gonna come as a support to the revolutionary people, and then now we go on the internet because you see the blacks, they feel like, oh, they think they control the internet, so we're gonna spread the news. Is that what is going on here? It's possible. Someone said Phoenix, the Gambia AA lady. Exactly. A86 Lyle, thank you. This is the same one that was in Gambia with Tete. You guys remember Tete? So think about. So she's getting her information, her contact on the ground from someone who's all the way in the Gambia. Do you guys see that you're being scammed? I'm just here to help you. So, and on top of that, also, I want to make it clear that in Africa, especially Burkina Faso, they are busy and serious about work. So all these platitudes, giving good speech, people clapping, that's not going to win the battle. That's not going to build those, the infrastructures that, think about, you coming from America. You need good infrastructure, good roads, stable light system. Who's going to build that? So I don't know how you're going to even live in Burkina Faso. You don't know the language. They speak French over there. So why do you need the citizenship? So let's hear more.
Initial offer to extend citizenship to all members of the African diaspora. This news comes at a very difficult time, especially for many Afro Americans.
And when you hear diaspora, the African presidents are not referring to you. They are referring to people like me. Just FYI. So let us hear what she's about to say, how disappointed the blacks are.
Who were looking forward to having a Plan B country and looking to Burkina Faso to provide that. Now, the inside scoop is that this decision was partially made because people were charging money when they weren't supposed to be charging money. And also, there was a certain.
You hear this? So the people, even if that's true, so clearly, Burkina Faso is not who's asking for money. So they are scamming each other, just like it happened in the Gambia. You guys remember this? How they were so mad. People were like attacking Gambia. Like that black lady, she's like automatic citizenship. She was acting like Gambia wrote a letter to them and say, "Oh, you guys show up, we're gonna give you citizenship." You see what's happening here? Similar thing. So did someone go and just set up this? I mean, okay, put it in the chat. Do you, those of you that are watching, do you guys, why do you think Americana went, took this group to Burkina Faso? Do you guys think it's just for photo op to make more money? Do you guys think like in the background, she is like the news have been spread that to them that okay, Burkina Faso is going to give us citizenship? I want to hear what you think. Put it in the chat. I'm not sure, but I want to hear what you know, what you are thinking about the whole thing, how, you know, it is laid out. Because I mean, people do photo ops to try to convince people. They would go and meet people that other people believe in, you know, just to get photos so that they can convince their followers. So here we go.
Amount of people that was going to be allowed citizenship, and that number, people went over that number, and because of that, and also security reasons, for what I understand, the entire program was cut off. Now the good news is this: Benin. The good news is that Benin still is offering their citizenship program. They have written this into law. It is the My Afro Origins law that actually states.
All right. So you seen and heard that as well. So she mentioned Benin. Guys, look, you are, look, your mind is gonna be blown about what I'm uncovering here. This is 2019 all over again. The blacks here in America have been trained to worship celebrities. So you know, in 2019, that's who they were following. So these people have they live in their own bubble, in their own world, and then they put, you know, their fantasies on other people. Let me read this super chat. St. James, thank you for the super chat. St. James said, "Great show, Afridamus. I'm enjoying the class." Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Guys, feel free to super chat if you're enjoying the show. So now, do you guys know who Spike Lee is? Well, Spike Lee is a movie director. He makes movies because you see these people in Hollywood, you know, they believe that they have like a god complex. They believe that they can create their own reality. And for the most part here in America, they succeed in it. What I'm about to show you, this would take you back to memory lane for the year of return. So you know, in last season, chapter 1, we were focusing on Nana Akufo, and people were like, "Oh yeah, Nana Akufo scammed these people." But did Nana Akufo scam the blacks, or is the other way around? Well, I have this interview, very interesting, from France 24. It would be the last video, and then I would open the panel. But this interview is very interesting. So Spike Lee is is calling on black people in America, telling them that their roots is in Benin. The same Spike Lee that was telling the same black people that their roots was in Ghana in 2019. So let me show you this interview. Here we go. This is very interesting.
Hello and welcome to Tête à Tête, France 24's flagship interview show. We have two guests today, Tanya Lewis Lee and Spike Lee. Thank you very much for being our guest here in New York City. A few weeks ago, the president of Benin, Patrice Talon, appointed you as ambassadors to the African American diaspora here in the US.
So, are you guys seeing this? So they're claiming the president of Benin appoints Spike Lee's wife and Spike Lee and her wife as the ambassador. And you know that Spike Lee and his wife were also involved in the 2019 year of return to Ghana. And by the way, you know, the black people here that they are trying to convince to go to Benin, you know, Benin is a French-speaking country. You do realize this, right? So Spike Lee in 2019 was involved in the year of return in Ghana, him and his wife. So let us hear more from Spike Lee and his wife.
Tanya, I want to ask you, how did this come about?
Well, this summer I was in Benin as part of a group from National Geographic that is looking to...
Did you guys catch that? So she was part of a group. She's part of a group from the National Geographic. So that means she's employee. So they carried them. So now the way I'm looking at this is beginning to look more and more like an experiment. The blacks are the guinea pigs, the first guinea pigs. They want to relocate. They are trying, they are seeing, they are testing the ground. How to, you know, return the blacks somewhere back to Africa. They are trying to see if this is working. Look, this is nothing against the blacks, but are you guys beginning to see the deal here? It is not African people going out in the street with drums going like, yeah, man, we need the blacks to come. No. They've got these quote unquote National Geographic. Is it possible? Guys, think about this. Is this like a project? Why are we seeing the same players? You know, they are, for example, Nana Akufo could have even been just a scapegoat. Why would an African leader care about this? Now that I'm looking back. So she was sent there by the National Geographic. It's not like she was selected by the blacks, there's like some sort of black group that selected them and say they are the ambassador. We want to move to Africa, to Benin. So something is not right. Let me let you guys hear more.
To do some work to bring an underwater monument to Benin to honor and memorialize the nearly 2 million people who died in the ocean along the transatlantic slave trade.
Don't you find that suspicious? So somehow, during the transatlantic slave trade, these people are saying they don't even know the numbers that were transported. Mind you, those were recorded. But somehow, they are able to know that like about 2 million is under the ocean. Man, okay, let's hear more.
The Middle Passage, right?
Yes. And so we went to Benin because we would like for the first monument to be there in Benin. I met with a lot of the ministers of the government, actually had the opportunity to meet with President Talon as well. And after meeting with everyone and getting to know Benin a bit, and they got to know me, the Minister of Foreign Affairs asked if we would be, Spike and I, ambassadors, thematic ambassadors to Benin. Evidently, we had a really, I had a really wonderful time meeting the.
So, you know, like she just somehow was, you know, in this group from the National Geographic. They sent them to Benin, and then coincidentally, she met the, you know, Benin Foreign Ministry, and nobody, you know, the white people, the project managers, you know, did not talk with the foreign minister. They just somehow, you know, were like, approached her and said, we are going to make you guys the ambassador. I don't know about you, but I smell some funny business. I smell some funny business. I see fire on top of the mountain. I don't know about you, but I see it. Because how is Spike Lee and his wife the only people getting approached for this? But let's continue.
People of Benin. I think
wasn't there.
He was not there, but we found common ground, and I'm just really thrilled that they honored it in this way, and look forward to working with them.
You, if I'm not mistaken, you went to Ghana back in 2019 when
We went together.
and it was the.
So did you hear what the French white man said to him? He said, you went to Ghana in 2019. Okay, look, Africa is not the United States. These blacks want to play us. They want to act like they can get passport in all these countries. We know they are all different nations. It's time for us to tell the blacks the truth. They need to stop playing these, you know, fake citizenship stuff. The rest of us got one citizenship, and in Africa, you should be content with one too. So this is looking more and more like a scam. Okay? And we got people on the internet coming here. When we tell them the truth, they start losing it. You know, like, I mean, look at it over here. We live over here in America. Some of these blacks, they're like, oh, we can, you know, we want to, you know, we want to be seen as African in Africa. But over here, you see Africans, you see us as Africans, as foreigners. You're able to make that distinction. You don't think when you go to our land, we would also be able to make the distinction? It's not based in skin color. Okay? Just like you see me, we same the same skin color, but you still say, oh, the African guy. I'm gonna go watch that African guy again. So you are able to acknowledge that. Why are you mad? Or think that other people are not acknowledging this? So Spike Lee is with the Hollywood thing. He believes he hates Trump. So therefore, all the blacks should. So this is definitely, and he got exposed. He was part of the people that convinced the blacks to do the year of return to Ghana. Like, is this year of return, does it ever end? Like what, every 5 years they're gonna do the year of return? Is that what this is? But here we go.
Year of Return campaign. How is this different? Because this happened, there was some criticism that it was maybe not deep enough, if I may use the expression. How is that different in your eyes?
Well, I was not there when my dear wife made the trip back to the motherland. That's why I'm wearing this hat today, because in the year 1619, when our ancestors were stolen from Mother Africa and brought to.
Like Spike Lee, how do you know they were stolen? It was a trade. They were sold. So again, you see, Spike Lee, he's a movie director. So Spike Lee, people like him, they think they can direct, real life, like dictate what it would be. Well, he's 16, 19, making us, they want us to believe that blacks landed here first in 1619, as if he would. So this is why I want us to focus on 2025. So these people want to pretend that they are able to time travel, back all the way there. So Spike Lee, are you telling us with a straight face, with the way you look, that you are 100% some African tribe? You don't have Irish, Scottish, German, English, or something. So this is, French. We need to stop playing around. It is time. Like, I want Africans to wake up. We can no longer play this game. You guys need to stop with this. Just be you. Stop creating this dumb little year of return stuff. Let's keep it real and build together if we're gonna build. But with this fantasy fake stuff, this is not gonna work. So here we go.
United States of America. So there's always been a history of the reconnection. Go back to Marcus Garvey, who.
Oh, Chukwu said the European came to Africa with guns, Afridamus. What's the procedure with a gun? Chukwu, stop it. Stop the cap. So Chukwu, you mean to tell me the slaves were coming from way in the interior? No white man was surviving the interior. So how you want to sit here in this chat section and tell us that the white man went, even though they couldn't survive the interior? It is Africans capturing other Africans from the interior and bringing them to the coast. No white man involved. So who was putting guns in their face? I bet you it's no white man. I can assure you. So here we go.
His thing was, let's go back to Africa, the motherland. So this is something that is not new. And I'm just glad to be part. I've been, in fact, the last scene we shot in Malcolm X.
So Spike Lee is not really saying anything. Spike Lee is another grifter, as you can see. I don't know what the hell is with the white glasses, but he hasn't said anything. He's talking about Malcolm X. It's like they want to, brainwash black people into believing you're coming from America, you're gonna go live the Malcolm X life in Africa, but it's not real. So here we go.
It was in South Africa, Soweto, with Nelson Mandela. So I've been there several times, and when this offer came up, I was amazed, and I'm looking forward. Actually, I haven't been to Benin yet, so I'm going to. We got to figure it out when we're going. But it's going to be it's before the end of the year, right? You think?
Right, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this also implies that you are asking for the citizenship of Benin. There's a new mechanism that was put in place whereby people who have parents, descendants from areas where there was the slave trade taking place.
Enslaved.
Yeah.
Enslaved.
Yeah.
So here comes the citizenship question. So the blacks think they would get special treatment. So if they see someone like Spike Lee, because they've watched Spike Lee for so long, so they watch Ludacris and others, they are paraded, they're given citizenship. So now Some of these people, they think they are at the same level as a Spike Lee. I mean, look at it. Spike Lee was the same ambassador for the Year of Return in Ghana. Spike Lee can do that, but you can't. And then you follow through. You're like, hey, look at it. They gave citizenship to Spike Lee. But not realizing that Spike Lee, whoever sent him, maybe the National Geographic. Remember, they used to go to Africa to like remote tribes and show us how they are living. Now they are no longer in that business. Now, I think National Geographic, I'm beginning to think they have an experiment. And the blacks are the guinea pigs to see if they can succeed in relocating the blacks back to Africa. I truly believe this is what that program is. But don't say I didn't warn you. Years from now, people would come to this video when they see that the program have succeeded. They would like, Afridamus called it. But here we go.
And so you are going to become citizenship of another country than the one you...
Yes, I think that, you know, there have been a few, and I think you mentioned Ghana. I think Ghana was also offering citizenship, but I believe you had to invest. What's unique and wonderful about what's happening in Benin is that they're offering citizenship to those who are of African descendants, whose ancestors, who can prove their ancestry, essentially comes from the slave trade, because Benin has a very long history of also being involved in the slave trade.
So you see the scam. So now she is saying, so in Ghana, you have to invest, right? And there's criteria. You can read this online, you know, for foreigners. Because like the Chinese, the Indians, you know, the ones that these people point out and say, look at these Chinese and Indians. Those people pay lots of money. They bring lots of investments into those countries. So in many words, she's saying, think about it. Us that are even from Africa, we were born there. From there, in the culture, we came here to America. It's not even acceptable for us to come back without bringing anything as investment. What makes you think truly Benin is just opening its heart because they are so kind? You know, they want to bring these blacks who they have nothing in common with other than skin color. You know, the requirement is it's not investment nor money, but they just want them to come in. Guys, do you buy this? I don't. Because even Ghana, that's how they used to say it. And then they're like, you know, because in their mind, maybe in Africa, they thought it was a win-win. You know, people, what they see on TV, Hollywood, these people are going to come with money. Well, little did they know. You know, a lot of these people, they are probably just famous, but they don't really have the money. And if they have the money, they're not going to spend it in Ghana or Benin. So here we go.
Right. And so there is a sense of wanting reconciliation. So it is welcoming those of us of the diaspora back home, if you will. There is no need for investment. It is about just you apply, and it's the application fee. And if you can prove your ancestry, you receive citizenship. So yes, we look forward to citizenship of Benin.
So watch. They're going to bring people in, and here's what's going to happen. You notice she put emphasis on proving your like through DNA. Watch, it's only probably few people whose DNA would be proven to be from Benin. You're gonna come back and say Afridamus told us this. Yeah, they're gonna come in to see how much money they can spend. And if Benin is not happy with the amount, all their DNA tests, they would fail. They would fail all of them. And we are watching you guys because we got videos of you. Those of you that did your DNA and you were in Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Gambia. Now we're watching you. Let's see if your DNA is gonna pop up in Benin as well. We're gonna call out your bullshit. So here we go.
I'd like to say this though. The one moment that has not really been surpassed when Roots was on TV. What year? It was mid-70s? Alex Haley's book. That
Why is Spike Lee hell bent on taking black people back to slavery, back to back? Now he's talking about Roots again. Here we go.
changed everything. I mean, almost every American was watching Roots. And there really hasn't been anything that I know that reached that level of, I don't know what the word is.
I just say, as an African American, just to be able to connect to the continent in some way. Like, I don't know, I've done DNA. I know I do have ancestry along the west coast of Africa. And the thing about what Benin is doing is you don't have to prove that you're from Benin. You just have to prove that you have ancestry along the west coast.
So how come this? Come on, the blacks, you gotta be smart. So as long as you're from the west coast of Africa, I'm from the west coast. How come this is not extended to me or other West Africans directly from there? Who, like, look, I might not be from Benin, but I promise you, if I step foot in Benin, the culture would be so familiar to me. I would fit right in. But you think they're gonna give me citizenship? Hell no. So here's this lady telling us, Benin said, oh, as long as it's from the West Coast, the blacks are about to be disappointed again. Here we go.
Africa, which essentially means that you come from the West Coast, right?
How do you envision your role?
Spread the word. Spread the word. I mean, I don't think that's an accident that they chose Italian eye, who prominent African American telling us, come home, welcome us home, come back to the motherland. Come back where your roots are. And also, we could be an example to other African nations to do the same.
And the world over.
We could be a blueprint.
And the world over. Because when you
Now you see why I said it's an experiment? These people are jokers.
talk about slavery, it's a very difficult thing. And I think that if Benin is able to show how we can all heal from that, what true healing looks like.
I mean, look at this lady. This lady have been mixed with everything over generations now. But she wants us to believe that she's 100% West African. All right.
I think they can be an example, as you said, for the entire world.
Right. I want to ask you, I mean, I don't know if it's related or not, but obviously here the situation.
Why are they being interviewed by a French white man? Why?
In the US, racial relations under Donald Trump.
Anyway, so you seen or heard that? I see Ola in the queue here. Let me bring the conversation. Ola, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Hey, thank you, Afridamus.
Ola, what do you think about, let's start from the beginning. Traore and, your president, Tinubu. People call Tinubu a sellout before, right?
Yeah.
Ola, but we got to give it to Tinubu. Most people say Tinubu is a sellout, but they have not brought any tangible proof that Tinubu is a sellout. But you see, when the time came, they tried to bring those Venezuelan criminals to Nigeria. Tinubu said, hell no, they're not from here. But you see, in West Africa, Ghana, the only Pan-African country, is the one taking in deportees. Burkina Faso said, hell no. Ola, do you want to say a little bit on that? What is going on? Why do you think Burkina Faso? Because Burkina Faso said that's inhumane. Nigeria said it's inhumane. But Ghana betrayed all of West Africa. What do you want to say onto this?
You see, it seems like most Black Americans are Ghanaians, because we've seen a very big scam now being carried out by some people related to Ghana, by that woman called, I forget, Dr. somebody, I forget her name.
Arikana? Yes.
So, but Dr. Arikana is trying to use Burkina Faso as a pawn now, after using Ghana as a pawn. You see, but Burkina Faso, they fall into it. Now she collects, allegedly I heard that she collected some money for people to have citizen in the Burkina Faso.
But Ola, whose fault is it? Ola, imagine, this is 2025, right?
Yeah.
I live here in the United States. Like, I have access to all kinds of things, information, technology, you name it. So, just like other people who live here also have access to this. If they are able to pay to go all the way to Africa, they can afford all these things. Can they blame Arikana?
Arikana is a businesswoman, right? She found the source of his business when he was making those noise in the United States. Why is not directed to Zimbabwe?
But what did she do though?
She's trying to sell them with a funny type of dream. After that, let me just tell you the truth. When that ex-Ghana president, right, that man and his team, they carry out a very successful plan how to make money out of people that they already, I don't know if they sold them out or what happened, you understand? People that passed through their buildings, those big buildings there. They revised a year of return. It was a big marketing business for them. So Black Americans jump into it and also do the same thing also. If you check all of them, they're doing tour. These are a bunch of scammers, you understand me? They're not really real. Bringing Black Americans into Africa is not going to work. You have to understand, we can say, okay, they look like us. Let's assume so they look like us, you understand me? But these are people who have kind of like lineage to very evil people that see their system. I told you that devil cannot burn an angel. You understand me? So it's not going to work. Their noise, bringing them to Africa is going to be a problem. They're no longer Africans like that anymore, or they're not even Africans. How can you bring people who claim to be Indians and Choctaw and Maui and all kind of Polynista, all kind of things like that? How can you bring people who
Ola, Kaepernick?
Yes, I know that.
Ola, Kaepernick said he did the DNA test. He found out his roots to Ghana. What do you say to that?
And Ghana. I wish him the best in Ghana. You understand me? Because let him understand how the Ghanaian roll. You understand me? This is just like, see, this is a setup game. They want to use now to they're bringing people that we don't actually understand. We don't know that.
Ola, how would they? Because don't you think, like, don't they know people are paying attention? Because the same people like Spike Lee and his wife, for example, they were part of the Ghana thing, and the DNA have been done, and DNA have been proven that people are from Ghana and other places. Okay. So now with the Benin thing, like, is the DNA going to change now?
If we talk about people that came from Africa, I think, as I said before, we have to be seeing Haiti is one of them, 100%. The Haitians are 100% Africa. They're the first to say we came out for Africa. It seems like Haitians and some Jamaicans, it seems like the devil not too much into them. I told you the truth. The ones in the United States, they cannot fit into the African system. It's not just, oh, I'm an African, or I'm this, I'm that. These people are different. You understand?
So, Ola, they're not gonna fit in Benin. You know, all I said to give the example. I said, I know Benin, even though it's French, right? It's French.
Yeah.
But if I go to Benin, I'm saying like within weeks, I would fit right in Benin.
Yeah, because you live in that cycle of continent, that territory we all call West Africa. Right? Yes, we just migrate and go back again. No matter what it is, I can wake up in the Gambia. I will feel like if I'm on my street somewhere in my village.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna see plenty of Nigerian restaurants.
Yeah, even the blacks, you will see people that you because you know who they are. You understand me? You feel. You people have the same kind of nuances, the type of life, it's the same kind of a setup, But let me just tell you this: you cannot bring people who have kind of like lineage to people that commit atrocity. United States ones are very more wicked. You understand me? Then you want to bring these people. Their taste of food is different. The way they see, I don't understand. I can't call them African.
Hola. So do you? Because now they are trying to say even Traore, scamming them. But Traore rejected Trump's deportation, orders like like what Ghana accepted. So, do you think the way these people are speaking on the internet about African, because African people are serious, right? So the way they're speaking about, Traore, do you think this would put a lot of African nations on guard?
Oh yeah, because they wanted to bring people to Burkina Faso, and that man is busy fixing his country. That you want to bring in people, some of them can be CIA agent.
Because think about it, some of these, they are like Langleys. So why are these people? Because think about it, Traore, right? He came in, he kicked the French out. He walked his way, kicked the, the US based out of there. So, and he's standing on his 2 toes. And then all of a sudden, these people are showing up talking about citizenship. How do we know, some of them are not like, Langleys among.
Yeah, so you have to understand what
Ola, a lot of these blacks, they are very dedicated to serving their white master. People
big
don't
time. That's what Traore is very careful. You have to understand, Ghana is not too far from him, right? Mm-hmm. You have to understand the death of Kuruma, right, was being pumped by Black Americans.
Right. So because Kuruma even kicked the Black Panthers that he invited. No, the black fighters he invited to Ghana during that time. I mean, some of them remain, but he kicked some of them out.
Yeah, because you have to understand when Kuruma came to
United States. Why aren't they going to Nigeria? What is going on? They just evading Nigeria. Nigeria, they should do the year of return.
No, we cannot do the year of return because
majority came from Nigeria. They know this.
Afrodamos, I cannot really know much about that, because what I've seen, I don't know much about
it. Ola, you guys took in the people from Brazil. Why can't you take in the blacks in groups too?
No, we cannot take the blacks in America. They're not part of us.
They came from you. You guys accepted the Brazilians.
Well, yeah, the Brazilian, you have to understand when the Brazilians came back, I think the slave trade just took for about 20, 30 years or something like that. So those that came back, they're actually able to note some of their route and everything, And those are the ones that came to Nigeria and they live. They did disturb, they did talk about cookies, or they did be planned by a special agent to come and destroy us. The ones you see now, these are agents. You understand me?
So you think all of this here, because think about it, it is Arikana that took the group there. So are you saying there might be suspicious? Do you think Arikana might be working for other people? Let's say, French CIA maybe pretending to hate them still.
Oh yeah. After that month, if you check, if you see when Kuruma went to United States inside the 50s, right? instead of 50s or 40s, right? They were singing to him the same kind of black power, all kind of thing there, right? He just so believed them. He came back to Africa. He was even asking them to come back. A lot of these guys that came back, he didn't know that you deal with people who just continue studying continuously, right? They were passing message to who they want to pass. When they want to get rid of him, their agent able to portray his own party people, right?
Yeah, because Ola, you might be onto something here, because you see, Kwame Nkrumah, right? When he was, like the US literally, like Kwame Nkrumah's coup, what happened straight from the White House, like they orchestrated to plan it, to set up a meeting for him to go to Vietnam, and he got couped in the process because he was going there to meet Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the people that he even invited, they were passing note information much about him, and those were infiltrate his own people by giving them some money. Then what do they do? They have to bring somebody that looked like him, right, as an ambassador. The guy freaked out. The guy said, "What is this?"
Like the guy looks like Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah, the black American that brought the guy said, "Why are you bringing black America to be the ambassador to Ghana?"
So that looks like Kwame Nkrumah. That's
look like Kwame Nkrumah, big time. This dude freaked out. He even questioned it. He was suspicious about them. He said, "Why are you bringing this black American when you don't give this for good life in the United States? You bringing him to be the ambassador of my country."
Because Kwame Nkrumah lived in America for a while before that.
Yeah, so you understand how they treat them, right?
Right.
Then they get freaked out. They said, "No." Even the black guy was saying, "No, I believe in your cause and everything." What happened? That black dude that brought to Ghana was the chief of everything that told their masters how to actually finally finish this guy. You know what I mean?
So do you think amongst these people, they have the same plan for Traore? Because it seems like Traore is getting stronger and stronger.
Yes,
because Ola, why would a black American truly, right, like I live here, like why would they want to leave here and go to Burkina Faso? I know that they can't even they can't speak French. Like, Ola, why would they want? What are they looking for in Burkina Faso?
Afrodamas, Traore is very look. You cannot. That dude is just fighting for his country. Then out of the blue, there's a group of people just coming, led by that woman.
And these are like old people. They are older too. They got their red beret in.
It's about passing information. What is he eating? How does he roll? What does he like? And where is he hanging out? You understand? Then those ones were not able to dance into the Burkina people mind. They just use them. So you have to understand that he's very scared because he's close to Ghana. Some of them even related to.
Yeah, because you see, he did not accept the.
No, he will never accept them. He will never accept it because.
So, but Ola, you see, in Africa, in West Africa. Because you look at all the countries that accept it there in the East and South. In West Africa, it's only Ghana. And they approach Nigeria. You notice, like I did this show, you miss it last time.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, the people they receive are Nigerian and Gambian. Gambia. So because we heard, like Burkina Faso said, this is inhumane, but Ghana accepted it, right? And Nigeria rejected Burkina, all this. So, and the Gambian people, they are not happy about it. So what do you think this would make Ghana look like?
I'm scared right now because I thought this guy was a little bit different from the other guy that just left, because this guy looked more like a very serious dude and everything. It seems like their best president is the other dude, the other tall black guy, that very dark skin guy. I think
Which
that
guy?
Yeah, I forget his name. He came after Julie Roris or something like that. I thought this guy was actually different. I thought Tinubu will even accept it because they have something to hold him with, because it's kind of like their asset also, But
so Ola, are you surprised Tinubu Tinubu said, "Hell no." Did
Yeah,
this clear the doubts?
Yeah, I was surprised that Tinubu just said, "Hell no, we don't want those people here." You understand me? They thought, "Whoa, how you?" They tried again. Said, "No, no, 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 no. We can't take these people. They are not. Give us the ones that are for us. We will take those ones."
But Ola, why didn't like the blacks and Africans like white skinned people? But why didn't Nigeria accept the Venezuelans?
No, because you, you bring people that doesn't have ties to the country, right?
Right.
But check what did they do. They refuse to bring the Nigeria straight to Nigeria. They not just to shame us, do whatever they want to do against Nigeria. They don't take them to Ghana. You know what I mean? So and now because Nigeria they accept these people, they're not doing everything now to kind of like shake this Nigeria leadership.
So Ola, how did maybe some of the Nigerians that heard about this on the ground, how do they feel about Ghana's decision?
No, the way I think some Nigerians were very, very disappointed because we were having hope of this guy, that this guy might be different or something, It seems like Ghana just fall our hands heavily on this case, and yeah, we're not too surprised. There's a certain mistake Ghana made way back. You have to understand, a queen will go down like that also, and they could use they could use some Ghanaians to even kick Kuruma. What do you think what will happen? Kuruma was their best, but they could bring some people and say, look, take this money, take care of this guy. Africans always be pawned like this in a lot of time. Must I blame all the Ghanaians? I don't think so.
No. I mean, because I've seen online.
Yeah,
online. There's plenty of Ghanaians
who say, "What is this?
Yes,
what are they doing?"
Yeah, there's plenty of Ghanaians.
For that, if you really check, let's forget these so-called people on the YouTube. Majority of Ghanaians indigenous does not support these Black Americans coming to their country.
Ola, when you said it before, I went and researched. You are correct.
Majority of Ghanaians doesn't support people just flocking into their country without not letting them knowing who are these people that jack up a lot of price. They even scare some of them. They don't know who are they really. They did bring. Look, let me just. That be like they brought money into Ghana. Ghana was already surviving before them.
Right.
You understand me? Ghana was already doing their things before then. Ghana already have some investment people. Look, Ghanaians have all their own money. They have their own thing. They don't need Black Americans to make some money. You understand me? But it was just kind of like, okay, investment, something. Then when some of them came, they start looking for cookies, looking for lollipop, looking for warm water. You understand?
Pancakes.
They don't know, pancakes. We live in a country that's very hot. We don't really need too much hot water like that. What we're looking for is AC, so that can cool us down in the night so we can sleep good. So what you're saying now, that the propaganda started spreading, the robbers or the scammers, they do they do everything. If you want those that look, I'm just saying it, the one that will fit into Africa, that we know 100% these are Africans, not the ones the real Africa they took to the United States, they are long time gone. The one that just opened the door.
Yeah, but Ola, I want to ask you. So Ola, what is going on with Benin? Because you look at Spike Lee, he was ambassador 2019 in the year of return. And now Benin is a French-speaking country. What is Benin trying to achieve? And, it's like the National Geographic is involved. Okay, I don't know much about Benin. Okay, can you tell me about the Benin people?
Let me tell you the truth of that, right? Benin, look, how can you ask people, look, if you look at Spike Lee, right, you can see it look different. You can see him, you can use some tortillas. You have taste of kind of tortillas. You have some burritos somewhere on him. Kind of mixed with all kind of sauces like that, right?
Right.
Then you come into Benin whereby they eat fufu with soup and everything, right?
But Spike Lee He was first in Ghana, ambassador 2019.
Maybe he did work on. Maybe he did work on. He did make some money there. So now Benin is a perfect. You know, you have to. Benin is not as developed as Ghana. You understand me? That's just the truth.
But they speak French. How are the blacks?
They speak French. First of all, they speak French. They eat stock broth, croissant, and some of this baguette and all this things.
So like French bread and stuff
French
like
bread,
that.
all kind of French bread, right?
Right.
All kind of French bread. You know, you tell me you're going to sit with people who in their brain, they see French as fatherland, right? First, they dress like Frenchmen. They talk like French. Okay, they have the African language. They have the African food. They have everything. You coming in, they'll be shocked seeing you. We that African self, if we go to these Francophone countries, because of similar kind of culture, we're able to understand them more better than you coming from United States. You have never been to Africa for more than 500 years. You're not going to fit in. You know, what they're going to say? Bonjour, 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 bonjour. People take our
but
money.
why is Spike Lee encouraging the blacks to come to Benin?
Spike Lee is just trying to make his own money without his wife that look like Vietnam or Cambodia. You understand me? It's not going to work. You know.
I think the wife might be wearing makeup. I don't think she's
no.
black.
That's a Cambodia. That's a Cambodia.
Yeah, woman. I suspect she might Asian something.
For that, let me just tell you the truth. Taking that dude from Burkina Faso down is one of their main goals. You understand me? It's one of their main goals. One, the guy is young, the guy is ruthless. Not ruthless, the guy is very stubborn. He doesn't negotiate, doesn't want their money, doesn't take bribe. Right? So,
but you see, the blacks are saying, "Oh, Traore is scamming them." You know, O'Shea and others are like, what's wrong with the Ola? What do you think is wrong with the blacks?
Yeah, okay. I saw O'Shea just ranting. I'm like, dude, go back to America. They have your or if you cannot go back, I have a gentleman club to take you to relax in Africa. You talking poor in Uganda, come to Africa, come to Nigeria, and come and see the shake it down then. You know what I mean? But O'Shea is playing to the gallery now, right?
Yeah, the peanut gallery.
Is he playing to things that you don't really understand about. Africa is part of. If you check most Black Americans content creators or whatever they call the podcast, whatever they do, when you mention Africa in their podcast, they have a lot of views. People they all coming and
you
say,
know, Ola. Are you beginning to see they are the real tethers? Because you look at it, they even went to Burkina Faso so they can attach themselves to African bravery.
Yes, because they cannot. You see, we talked about that Ghana dude, right? The Ghana man that came and said, "I'm the king of Kabbalah." You understand me? We don't talk about pancake here now or hiding under the bed and start screaming about black power that you can't occupy no street in the United States. When that's a Ghana guy, even just came and said, "I'm the king of Kabbalah." You do nothing. You understand me? And camp on the tent there. That's where Africa operate. But they sit on their burgers and their sugar straw on those burgers and the pancakes somewhere and be eating those chicken and everything. They after eating those meals, oh, black power, B1, B2, B3. Look, let me tell you all guys, man, you lucky Lady Johnson just gave you that freedom of your ancestors that they took for Africa. I don't know if they're already gone. You see, after that, I say one thing, right? The door they open for us to see these white Americans say, hey, Africans, see your people. I told you before, I said, don't lock back that door. These are not my people. Where the real ones? The real ones are gone. They're dead long time. You understand me? These fake ones you see right now, you don't know what they if they're Cambodia or if they're Mexicans. You don't even know who they are. Come and say, oh, I'm African. Who the hell? What Africa?
So Ola, if Kaepernick said his DNA shows he's Nigerian, would you reject it?
Who?
Kaepernick.
Oh, that NFL, that guy from NFL?
Yeah.
Man, that guy should just go to Mexico, man, start claiming that side. Then
I think he's Egyptian. He's
a choke guy. You know, that just let me hear from.
Let's bring in St. James. St. James, welcome to the Afridamus Report. St. James, unmute yourself.
Hello, Afridamus, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. So, St. James,
sorry. Let Kidola continue for just about a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Afrodama, so let's just be clear, because sometimes we should not be sentimental for what we don't know nothing about what happened 400 years ago. You understand me? The white people that took to United States, you could see that they are Irish. You understand me? They are Irish, they are Scottish, they are wherever they are there, right? But those people, they still know where they're coming from. But this, so what they call black now, the job, let 100% be honest. They cannot fit into us. They don't have anything to contribute to, nothing. They just, some of them, they're spies, and they really there to do some really bad things. You know, some of them that were going to Ghana, might be stop over in Gambia. They're still there right now. You know, some of them left. You understand? So we see people that for them to fit into you will take another 200 years. You understand me? Also, if they have some children there that might fit into that place. But you see people who does not have emotional attachment towards you. That the one you see.
Oh, sure. Ola, why do you think they want the citizenship, though?
That is one question, right? Because you see, for example, you in America, right? They say if you cannot have it, buy it, right? They buying ass, they're buying everything. They can, they can change everything in their body. They're buying it, right? Yeah. So buying passport is part of that game also. You understand me? It's part of that, what they believe on. So they're coming out, so this is a new thing. Oh, Burkina Faso, I'll buy it with $5,000. I'll buy it with $4,000. But they don't know. Burkina Faso never asked them to come and take citizenship. It was that lady, it's a game, this is a game. It's that lady that tell them, come and take citizenship for me. They're moving everywhere.
How come she's not taking them to Zimbabwe?
That is one thing, because Zimbabwe is not going to play into that game at all. But you see, when that woman came to Burkina Faso and stand with with the leader, I think after she left, that man started suspecting her, himself started suspecting them. Have you ever seen that man ever see people like that anymore? No. At first, he gave them some hearing and everything. They come with sweet words and everything. Later,
they probably warned him and said, beware of these people.
I think he suspected the things are not right with these people. These are crazy people, He don't want to risk his life for people that can take up to about $1 million and come and finish him up. You understand me? He pushed him far, no coming. That picture that lady took with that guy, that was used now to start scamming his people in United States. Without them not taking them to Zimbabwe.
But Ola, why are these people even buying into it? If she's from Zimbabwe, right? She live here in the United States, living a life. Why is she taking them to Africa while she live here?
She's connected to Ghana man, and she's connected to. I tell that her husband is Ghanaian, so they can just sit and draw some certain map. And because she have a very loud mouth, she's very strategic in, because she worked with African Union before. This is a woman who's a medical doctor, out of the blue become an activist, telling that the Black Americans they met United States, they're Africans. And there's no, I'm not African. Even we Nigerians say, no, you people are not Africans, don't come here. Able to twist their mind.
Because like Ola, like I look at it from myself, right? Like, even though that's like, because I mostly lived here, like most of my life here in the United States. So like when I went to like even Gambia, like transacting, and it wasn't that easy. So, and I'm even from there.
That's good. That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm imagining somebody who's never from there, what that would look like.
Afrodamos, Africa culture with Black American culture does not rhyme. I call them Black Americans, right? I call them Black Americans. The culture does not rhyme. You don't understand the culture.
So are you saying Benin is not going to work?
It's not going to work in Benin. Benin is like a very deep cultural center. You understand me? They are more deep into their own culture.
Do you think they're going to give them citizenship?
Benin?
Yeah.
Maybe they might give 1 or to 10. Maybe they will not start seeing.
But even Ghana only gave a little bit.
Yeah, because I think somewhere the citizens of the Ghanaians in diaspora, I think they send some messages also. Kofi Adu went to London. I think he studied in London also. I think somewhere in the United States. His children also might be studying. So they can easily figure out these people. There's something, there's something wrong. You ask people to come, they just start buying land. The Hebrew Israelites follow up. They look like agents being sent to Ghana.
You said what? You said the Hebrew Israelites?
Just follow up immediately, started trying to introduce some senators to Ghanaians. No, as I want to say, they have,
Cameroonian, they have the Cameroonian Hebrew Israelites.
Yes.
And, Cameroon is a wild place because their 92-year-old president is running again, and he's giving Fanta to his.
Ask him, drink Fanta, Coca-Cola, vote for me. So you see what is. So what I'm trying to say is this. We can say it as we want to say it. We can
Africa is a whole different planet.
Yeah, don't pretend. We cannot say, you Black Americans are Africans. It's just damn lie. They are who they are. You understand? Let them remain in the United States. They're not Africans. By playing to that, they are playbook, they're Africans. I think it's just a damn lie.
But Ola, what if the ones that can adjust?
Just what? To do what? Look, if you even marry them, let's assume you as African, you married to a Black American, right? I've asked a lot of them because you don't know their culture, because Africa work more with culture. We use culture to study who you are. You understand me? Then that's where we deal with you. Then that through marriage or through friendship. But with the Black Americans, their culture is not visible like that. So what you see someone that is maybe black in skin, but you try to get to him, but what you're seeing is something just totally blank. You understand me? You want to see the white culture, but the white culture is not really pumping out of him like that. You want to see that. So what you're seeing is just like blank. There's nothing to say about the roots of anything is not just there. You understand me? So it's not my fault when I start seeing that, like, even with that's why when you marry the women, right? When you marry the women, you cannot really able to have fun of playing shape like that. Like, hey, but through a woman, you can also let me dance to her music. Forget about this R&B, because there's a things you see in culture you might relate to the woman. That's okay. This is why you operate like this, right? You follow her like that or that, because she also studied your culture. But with the Black Americans, you don't. So what kind of culture is seeing in them? What is their culture? Is it pancake culture? What is the culture all about? Is it pasta culture? These are white people's food or Italian food. You understand me? Is it the cheese part of the culture?
Ola, Nightingale said, but Ola, if your wife adapted to life in Africa, why can't AA also adapt to African culture?
You have to understand, because the white people have a very strong culture. We can say, because the white people have a very strong culture, they can easily also. Why do you think white men and white women that marry to some of these Africans, right? Is because of the culture. That's what they study them. When they look at them, this is where they operate, that's where they operate, right? But based on this culture, that's the moment you start changing. I bet you there's one Nigerian guy that I know, he will start changing from his Nigeria root, right?
But Ola, I remember there was this guy, right? I knew him, he's my friend. Like, he visited here from the UK, so he went to go visit his brother. I went with him. The brother had a Black American wife. I mean, from what I've seen, she can cook African food, like Gambian food. She act like Gambian and everything. Do you think it's real? I mean, she cooked well. I mean, she was with it.
Let me just tell you this, bro. Loyalty does not come from pretending to cook all these things.
No, but I mean, Ola, I'm just saying, her food, right? Tasted just like the Gambian women.
Yeah, I don't think so. Look, I've known we'll talk about this thing now. Black American women, they don't have loyalty to anybody. That is not going to change. You know what I mean, for Damos? That's not going to change. Anybody that's marrying them, I think it's just playing the game, how to play to be in marriage, but not really in marriage. It's playing marriage now, right? It's like a movie, play. You understand? Like black type of play. Okay, African with Black American woman, right? Play. Yeah, go. They start playing to be together. but the loyalty is not really there. Everything is facade. It's very empty. You understand me? You talk about the white somebody. Kofi Annan, that man, former US, married to a white woman for almost about 30-something years or 40 years, right? A Switzerland woman. You know, what happened? That woman was loyal to that guy till his death. You understand me? He was there. You can't bring look, the moment you're down, the black American woman will run away from you. That's just the truth. You take it to anywhere, it will run away from you. Even when you're not down, even it will run away from you. They have nothing to offer nothing to Africans at all. Africa should not get that dream of, okay, tell me which relationship between African and a black American woman that lasts up to 15 years. Just tell me that. They never really exist. Because why? They not like India.
I know some is more than that.
Maybe that is Caribbean. You might not understand. That might be a Caribbean woman.
You don't think they're African American?
No.
I think these people actually are.
No, that might be Caribbean women, you know, because these black American women, you can't do nothing with them. They are cold as hell. They want to bullshit you. They want to bullshit you. Loyalty not there. As long you bringing in that big check, as long the macaroni cheese is on the oven, as long things are flowing like that Jack Daniels on top of the table, they will be there with you. But the moment the Jack Daniels started leaving the table, all those cognac and the cheese and the macaroni cheese is no longer in that oven, you know, they will be shifted. You understand me? They will be shifting away from you. They cannot really help you to be strategic. They cannot help you. They have no plan.
Ola, I came across a video one time. You went on a show. It was some Nigerian women. Yeah. And you started saying something they didn't like. They said, "Isn't this the same Ola who's married to a white woman?" They dropped you. I was laughing.
Yeah, you know.
They said the Nigerian women treated just like the FBA women would treat you. They said, "Isn't this the same Ola who's married to a white woman?" And they removed you.
Yeah, because those people too have their own problems sometimes, because they want to copy the what is not really existing, right? What they see in the TV, right? They want to copy that. In reality, they preaching something that doesn't really exist, right? They want to talk like what they're seeing in the Western, and most of them live in the Western world.
But Ola, why did Nigerian women get treating you like the FBA women?
Yeah, because I try to let them face the reality, because some of them live in London. Some of them live in London, right? That's what you see in London today. The children there born by some of these Nigerian women, they become something, become something else there. You know, even the Nigerian policemen started warning them, stop calling police on your husband, stop divorcing them because you think you can get to the money. You understand me? You know, because of that, so I try to bring their senses back. Stop, don't create fantasy. You understand me? Don't create fantasy. That they just say, whoa, this guy. You know, this guy.
Yeah, I watched the video. I was laughing.
Yeah, you know, this guy.
They said, "Isn't this Ola who's married to a white woman?" And you even answered. You said, "Yes, I'm the one married to a white woman." And they dropped you.
Yeah, to let them know that I'm not here to play with them. You know, I'll give it the way it is. You know what I mean?
But let's bring in St. James again. St. James, welcome. St. James, unmute.
Hi, Avidamus, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. So St. James, last week I did a show on Ghana accepting the deportees, but Nigeria rejected it, and now they went to Burkina. Let's start there. Burkina Faso rejected it. They said it's inhumane, and it looks like they're putting some penalty on Burkina citizens. I want to hear what's your take on that, and why did you guys reject it before we get to the citizenship part?
Well, Alfredamus, to be honest with you, when you brought up the show about Ghana receiving African immigrant in Ghana, I wasn't too sure exactly what was happening. You remember?
Right.
I watched the show and I was very confused about the position that Ghana took. regarding that particular issue. So I was trying to get to know more because I knew there was some caveat to it, you know. And the way it happened in Burkina Faso, based on my understanding, they had a few meetings with the with the government because you remember Traore, they voted a law in AES that any African that would like to, come to AES for business or to live.
Yeah, I saw that. Do you think that's what the blacks confused and think they would? But we'll get to that one.
We get to that part. So they used that. They were trying to use that to make the point that Burkina should, since this visa free, Burkina should allow.
Burkina is not part of ECOWAS, but because of that statement.
Right, because of that statement, because of the fact that they voted that any West African that want to travel to Burkina Faso is visa free or whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
now
what they use.
Everything is making sense. So
right.
So when the blacks heard it, somebody must have interpreted it to them that this is including them. So now Burkina changed that, because of the United States tried to exploit that law.
Right, they tried to exploit it. So when they had the meeting, they told them that that's not when we were thinking about this. We weren't thinking about deportees, So basically, you got it right. So they said they don't want it. So the outcome of that, the United States came and said, you know what? Based on the statistics, Burkinabés are coming to the U.S. and they don't return, and they said they don't seem to have the vetting system in place in Burkina Faso. Therefore, they have to travel to Togo, to request a visa to come to the U.S. That's what this came about. So we just learned that this week. So this just happened. It was a rumor, but they cleared the rumor. It's really true. So
you saw the video. I played it.
Yeah. So basically, that's what it is.
And okay, let's move into Arikana. Arikana took a group to go meet Traore. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I've seen the video. I've seen a couple of videos.
The speech was great whatsoever. But when you look at it, what's coming out of it now, some of the quote-unquote Pan-African YouTubers are claiming, this is a scam. Burkina Faso, they took money from the blacks, promised them citizenship, even though we don't have any proof of it. Some have even gone as far as, saying that even Traore, who is busy with building and trying to, protect his own life from, the constant, attempt on his life. I didn't know he would be busy trying to steal from the blacks, but, what do you make of Arikana's visit there and now what's coming out and the blacks claiming?
Before I answer that question, to be honest with you, you did a great job in the introduction when you were discussing the issue. You did a great job.
Okay.
To us living in diaspora, we just didn't even know about that lady, right? We didn't know her. I knew her back in maybe 2019 when she burst to the scene, talking about Wakanda, going back to Ghana.
Yeah. You remember I did that show about Wakanda.
Right, and then we did it. So I don't know about what she got going on with the diaspora here in America. Let's say in the Western world. I don't have an idea, right? But I do know, like you said, based on what I observe, she has the right intention. Now, the business part of what she has going on, you and I don't know it, right?
Right.
Maybe the paying members of that situation she has can explain to her exactly how they got scammed. You see what I'm saying? Arikana going to any country in Africa, right? She's not on the level of a president. I want the diaspora to hear me out. She's not on that level. We are doing this out of courtesy to her and the people that are coming because they're showing an interest into a country and we're letting them in so we can hear them. We don't have to do that. So her doing it and maybe getting a photo with the president, it's not given to everybody. It's given to people, to showing to people that we can welcome you if you have the right intention. But don't take our kindness for weakness. So I'm showing videos about the country and the president associating associated with scamming Alpha Damas. Honestly speaking, I'm glad you brought the two together. A president that is willing to tell the nation, the powerful nation that you come from, tell them we're not taking this deal. This is what we are doing. If you can come with us on this one here, we can help. But on this side, we can't. Is the one doing the scamming, or is the one participating in scamming you? It doesn't make sense. And I'm happy you brought that up. For those people who have YouTube channels thinking they can use the channel to manipulate Africans, you are doomed on arrival, because we understand it's not you. Like you said, these proxy, even the Kuma era, they're still here. They still exist. That's why Africans country don't move like that. Our Pan-Africanism in Africa and their Pan-Africanism is not the same. Africa is not.
Well, it's like this, I'm beginning to see it. Look at, Americana. This Pan-Africanism is more like costume Pan-Africanism, like Halloween. She got on her red beret. They got their communist red shirts on. I mean, like, I'm thinking, like, what's going on? What do they, like, St. James, you're from Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
What do they want from Burkina Faso? What can the blacks possibly, the ones you've seen, these are like older people, Burkina Faso, speaking, different culture, what could they possibly, can they possibly live there, and make things happen, as they fantasize about Wakanda?
Alphadamas, man. I'm from the Sahel.
Yeah.
Just the name itself means something, right?
Right.
The climate itself. It takes a special person to live there. Just the climate, the language barrier that you talk about. So you have to be able to adapt and adjust quick, because, like you said, they are francophone. They speak other languages, but one of them, if you come from the Western world, you're gonna have to speak French or learn a different local language very quick. So that's gonna be the first barrier. So, like you said, have you studied the terrain? Have you studied the people? Have you studied the culture? It's up to you. Like in one video, you are able to describe exactly what's on the ground. So I don't understand people now doing their research, going into a movement, paying membership to a foreign land that they don't know anything about. That is mind-boggling to me. And then you make video talking about scamming. So it's like, bro, it's like 2025, like someone was saying earlier. You can Google a place. Within a minute, you can know exactly what's waiting for you on the ground. So I don't know how someone in their right mind can go pay money for someone else to lead you to a place whereby you can do it by yourself. I don't get it. But this is the Western world. I'm not here to give advice, because, to be honest, people don't even want it. I'd rather see people suffer, go through their pain to learn something, and then appreciate it. They will appreciate it more than you being a voice trying to tell them, hey, these are the mistakes that you're gonna make, and I'm here to help you out. People don't respect that Afro-Damas. Nowadays they don't. They want to make
is Burkina Faso open to real serious investors?
Afro-Damas, there was a video that came out, because I could have sent the video to you. Ibrahim Traore himself talking to the investor. They're already in Burkina Faso, talking directly to the investor. He didn't send anybody from his cabinet to talk to the investor himself. He said he's going to look into the investment that are coming into the country. He's going to make sure he has the institution. He's going to have everything they need in Burkina Faso to make sure they are prosper. When they invest their money, they're going to get a good ROI. A president talking to you like that, right? He acknowledged the corruption that was there back before we came there. He acknowledged all the red tape, all that. He acknowledged all of it. But he said, with my administration, I'm going to make sure that when you invest in Burkina, you do come to Burkina Faso and you invest, I'm going to make sure that we have the institution in place for you to make some money. From his own mouth. Couple that with somebody else in America or somewhere else in Africa talking about this dude is here participating in scamming the diaspora. First of all, this guy doesn't even know you exist. He doesn't. He cares less about you. Like, he cares less about knowing that you don't care about him. So the only way they care is you show the interest into whatever that's going on there. If you don't care, they don't. Like you said, blackity black mean nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Nothing. You can see it in the Western world. You can.
I mean, from
nothing.
even your experience here, in America, knowing the region and the blacks, and the blacks are not, with their skills and stuff. What do you think the blacks can provide that Burkina?
When I saw Arikana, there was a part where she said she brought some people who are ready to hit the ground running. That's the part that stood up to me. I was like, okay, you're bringing people that can hit the ground running. That's what Burkina need, right? Let's talk about.
Do you think Arikana maybe told some of the, because like some of these blacks, they're reading all these books, but they don't put it into practical, and now they, in their head, they might think they are professionals.
Right.
But they might have had real conversation with Traore, and he's an army guy leading the army. He knows what real work is. He's able to differentiate between platitudes and good talk versus reality, right?
Right.
So he's like, okay, I think these people are just pushing platitudes. They have a fantasy, and that we are dealing with reality. Do you think that's the type of stuff that happened?
That's kind of the stuff that happened. We've seen that throughout the years in Ghana, in Gambia. We've seen it. We followed it. We've seen it. We've seen the same pattern, and the same pattern is traveling to Burkina Faso. That's the same pattern. A group of people gather in the Western world, making promises, telling their group member they can sell them a big bridge, and everybody believe in it. For $300, I can sell you the biggest bridge in America. And people bought into that. You see what I'm saying? So the first step when you go to a country, you're going to ask, what's the law? What does the law says about citizenship? That's the first thing. Any group member will ask.
You see, the blacks brought black out of retirement.
I'm gonna touch on him, bro. So Afrodamus, wouldn't you ask when we came to the state, when we were getting ready to get our citizenship? Wouldn't that be the first question you ask? What is this? What is the law? What does the law says?
Right.
So I don't get those talking point. All I get is I pay $300. My family pay $500. I'm like, okay, you had that kind of money for someone to preach to you that they can sell you a bridge. So you want me to feel sorry? So in your community, in your group, you should have the draft of the citizenship requirement from the country you are expecting to travel to. You should have that.
Right.
You should read into it and understand. And based on that, you can have the conversation with your leader who's telling you that they can make that happen for you. You can tell, hey, that's what the law says. Okay, what give you the confidence to tell us that we are getting citizenship? So she should say, oh, this administration, give the name, the representative of that country in connection with my group are making this happen. So by doing that,
some of them are saying, oh yeah, maybe like O'Shea saying, Traore might not be involved, but somebody in the government is that.
That is not. As we speak right now, Traore's government, there is not a single human being, a breathing human being that can come close to that man and do this camp.
I don't believe. Saying I'm an African, I know like I've grown up under military government. The people that are talking online don't understand how that really works. Like it's not that type of game.
For that one, let me tell you something. Look, Black America doesn't have a level of negotiation. Let me just tell you the truth. Somehow because they see us Africans, we kind of like quiet, a little bit study, because we observe before we open our mouth, because we don't know who are you first. But they don't have that level of negotiation how to survive in Africa. Because little thing that will bust out. I met a guy from Burkina Faso way back, Derek. Derek is married to a French woman, right? It was Derek that was the first, apart from the one I saw in TV, Thomas Sankara, was the first Burkina Faso dude I ever seen in my life. Well, we met, we ever seen Nigeria, Burkina. We see it, we're discussing and everything. Immediately, I could study him through the culture, you understand? Even when we start eating what we call shawarma, those kinds of shawarma.
Shawarma, yeah.
We started eating shawarma. We bought shawarma, we started eating, we started talking. They said, oh, man, there's some Nigerian guys in Burkina Faso doing business, right? He said also Nigerians come all the way from Nigeria coming to sell Nollywood movies. Then they were operating on CD cassette, right? Now, so asking them, how do you know they're Nigerians? I said, yeah, the way they behave, the way they drive far away and come. So they stay, they enjoy, they sell their movies and they're gone. If you come to Africa, you want to really do business, you will have people there on the ground.
Keep talking. I'm here.
Okay. Do you think Nigeria just went there blankly? They go there first. They have their contact people there first, right? Make friends with the indigenes and everything there. Then they start doing business there. I don't think any black person will harass you if you take the proper license wherever to operate in the place. If black Americans they want to do business in Burkina Faso, why must they have to pass through channels and channels of people that even live in America? Why don't you really look for the Burkina Faso person like St. James that came from Burkina Faso to talk to, that will really tell him the real truth? But you're going to look for a woman that came from Zimbabwe. It's not even West African. Even me as a Nigerian, we're not even able to tell you how Burkina Faso operates. So why don't you look for a person like Burkina Faso dude or girl or woman or man that can give you how to operate in Burkina Faso? You understand me? Whatever you want to do, then you do it there. Follow the way the African people operate there. Most Africans have businesses in some of other areas. Ghana have businesses, Burkina Faso, Nigerian, all kind of Africans. I'm talking about West African now, doing their normal trading. You don't even need to big money before they even allow you to even do the trading themselves. Come out, if you want to come and sell it, cars in Burkina Faso, import it, come and sell it there. If you want to sell furniture, but you must have to have the proper channel that the people that came from there. That's just what I'm just saying. You cannot be asking a Zimbabwe woman you want to buy a passport in Burkina Faso. How? How are you going to get it? Why don't you ask somebody that came from
maybe
there?
Arikana didn't tell them.
Yeah,
but let's bring in Kedo also. Kedo, are you there?
I'm here.
Kedo.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Kedo, you're listening. Kedo, what do you want to, add on to this? Because you can touch on the, Burkina Faso, the leader not accepting the deportees, and also about the, blacks accusing Burkina Faso of not giving them citizenship. Go ahead.
All right. The aspect of the leaders not accepting the deportees. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I said.
You got a lot of noise, though.
No, it's not me.
Hold on. Who? Oh, that's Carla. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kedo. Kedo, are you there?
Yeah, he got that bushmeat eating phone. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Kedo.
Yeah. Afrodama.
Yes.
All right. So I said the aspect of
we lost Kedo.
Can I talk now?
Let's bring in Carla. Carla, there we have you here.
Yeah,
Carla, what do you want to? Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say to this.
Yeah, yeah. I got to call to my fellow bushmeat eaters from the continent. Every time I hear bushmeat babble, I got to call in. You have St. James here, you got Ola here, talking about black little no. Do you understand we got billionaires in this country? Indirect. The only minority group that has billionaires is Black America. The only one. There's no Asian billionaires. There's no Hispanics. It's only Black American males as billionaires in this country. Anyway, St. James, I got to take exception to what you just said. You was just basically telling Afrodamus, excuse me, it's a poor habit, Afrodamus, about all the trials and tribulations. Why would you go to Burkina Faso? But just the other friggin' day, I was saying the same damn thing in the chat, and you're telling me, why are you discouraging people? Why are you friggin' doing? You talk out of two sides of your friggin' mouth. I was saying Cuddy's a friggin' idiot. I said I don't approve of nobody going over there. It's a friggin' undeveloped, dusty country. You just kept telling me how you guys are gonna invade Ghana and all this kind of stupid shit you was talking about, whatnot. So what is it? You want people to come there? You telling me, oh, Burkina Faso's open for investment? I said no. I wouldn't tell nobody to invest in a friggin' fifth world country and go over there. You don't know it's war torn. You got jihadists and all shit like that. Why the hell would I tell my people to go over there? I was saying that. You up here saying, yeah, man, use the language and all this stuff like that. Be honest with people. Because people listen to you and like, okay, I'm going to listen to St. James. I'm not going to listen to Kala. And you got people going over there. You got people going on there. Now you telling me these people are in danger. After you just said that, okay, you telling me that everything's okay. Now you up here tonight telling me, oh, you're going to have a time because of the climate and all stuff like that. I said, isn't that what I was saying? So what is it, bro?
So that's what St. James?
Yeah, that's for St. James. What is it?
Kala.
See, one thing about me, right? I told you that I said this all the time. I said, Dr. Arcana, this was not a good move. This is not a good move. The whole thing does not smell right. I was saying this. I was the only one saying this. I said, no, it's not right. Burkina Faso is not ready for Black American first world people coming over to a third, fourth world country. It's not going to work. But everybody told me I was a hater. I'm jealous of Dr. Arcana and everything like that. And I knew these people, I don't feel sorry for these people who lost their money. I don't feel sorry for them with that. Because I was warning about this for a couple of years. I had members of my group.
Kala, why do you think they easily fall for stuff like this?
No. What it is Black people in America, right? All you need to do is put doctor in front of your name and they'll follow you. Dr. Sebi, a fucking clown.
All right.
Honduras, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Arcana, all this shit right here. But I don't put I would get a big following if I put my name Dr. Collagenesis. And I get my following grow through the roof. All I have to do is put doctor in front of my name.
Well, I better add doctor to my name, Dr. Damas.
You probably increase your following. So the bottom line is I was talking about this for a long time. Look, I am not one of these starry-eyed panda. That shit's dead. I don't believe in it. Never has worked and never will work. People are just too different. But I will say I'm involved with Liberia only because my family, my culture is there. When I go to Liberia, I feel like I'm in like Harlem, Detroit, or in the Deep South all at one time, and Africa all at one time. So I have a connection there. I don't feel that with these other countries in Africa. I just don't. I don't feel any kinship with the rest of Africa. I don't. So maybe somebody could change my mind over the years, but I really don't feel any kinship with. I don't think we have anything in common. I just think we're just too different, whatever like that. So and also there's not a lot of Black people from America going to Africa. Do you know there's a large group of Black people who live in America? Africa doesn't even make the top 10 places where Black Americans are going. The number one is like Portugal and Thailand. There's very few Black people in America actually go to Africa to live permanently. Very few. Very few. It's very small. And when the Ghanaians always boast they know we got all these African Americans, what they really getting is returning Ghanaians, other Africans that live in America.
So wait, they're not. You're saying they are not?
No, I know my people, right? There was a bus load of them that
these are just fake tethers.
Yeah, these are people. Look, I know my people. I know what Black Americans look like, right? And I know what they look like, right?
Wait a minute. So Carla, are you saying these are not Black Americans?
No, they're not Black. These are fucking Ghanaians. When they were deported, they were returning home. No, they were deported, right? They were on a bus because they got deported, right? And the people said, "Look at all these Black Americans." Ghanaians were bragging like, "Look at all these Black Americans, African Americans coming here to our country, whatnot." I was like, "No, those aren't fucking Black. Those are Ghanaians who lived in America, and stuff like that." And you try to say, pass them off as Black Americans so you can brag that you got Black Americans coming to your country. That's what it is.
You want to, St. James, you want to respond to Carla?
All right, sorry, Afrodamus. I was talking to you about my neighbor.
Let's Kato go first.
Yes, you asked me today, and I said that I think it was the right decision that the president of Burkina Faso made to not allow the deportees into his country. because especially looking at their records, they don't have good records, and his country, like he need to make the U.S. to know that their country is not like a dumb yard that you can just dump people like that. There are lots of places where those people have their countries. Why
But
don't
the,
you take them to their countries? Why do you
but
carry
Ghana,
them to his
but
country?
Ghana, but Ghana accepted it, and other Rwanda, Uganda, Eswatini, South Sudan. I mean,
They know what
there.
they are doing, but to me, even if you even ask me, or when it comes to just look at the idea behind it, I don't think that idea is even right because
Do you
those
think
people
Liberia?
have their countries.
Do you think Liberia would accept it?
It's possible because the Liberian president
What do we in
is
Liberia? What do we need this shit for? We don't need that. Let's know what's not
working
gonna happen
along
in
with
Liberia.
the
No, it's
Americans.
talking
So
about
the,
accepting the
let me just
deportees.
say the Liberian president is have a good relationship with America, so it's possible that he will allow it.
No, no,
He have
that's
a
not
very
gonna happen. And
I know that they're
how
trying
do
to
you know it will
build.
not happen?
I know
Wait,
that they
wait,
are trying to
wait,
build
that's
a
another myth that
prison.
you
Mr.
ignoramus
Kala,
don't
wait,
understand.
Mr. Genesis, how do you know it will
America and
not happen?
Liberia would never. America and Liberia were never friends. Liberia is connected to Black America, and by
No, no,
proxy,
no.
like
Black
you don't have a good
America, wait,
relationship with White America,
no, no,
this
no,
is
no,
what
no.
you're talking. They don't know anything about you, bro.
Wait, so all right, can I respond to that? All
Go
right.
ahead.
So the Black America that you talk about, first of all, Liberia was created. America Colonization Society is, and America like to do
American
things
colonization
indirectly.
didn't create Liberia.
America created
They did not create They did not
no,
create
now can you
Liberia.
give me a chance first? America
Liberia is
created
a
a colony.
duplication
No,
of the Black
Wait,
communities that
wait,
were
Mr.
already in
Kala, Mr.
America,
Kala, Mr. Kala,
transported
Mr.
to
Kala,
Africa.
Mr. Kala,
The American
Mr. Kala.
colonization said there's not one.
Are we having a
We're gonna let him
There's
conversation?
talk.
not
Are
one
we having
white
a
man
conversation?
buried in
Are we
Liberia.
having a conversation? Are we having a conversation, Mr. Kala? Please give me a chance to explain myself first.
Yeah, but you
If
say
I'm
a lot
wrong,
of
you
ignorant.
educate
You
me.
say a lot of ignorant
No,
stuff,
but if
and
I'm wrong,
Afrodamus
educate
don't
me. But you
correct
don't
you.
want me to talk. You are just talking.
All
You
right,
don't want me
I'm
to
gonna let you
talk.
talk, but I'm gonna correct you because you say a lot of
No,
ignorant
but
stuff.
then let me talk first. By telling me that you correct me, it means that I'm
But
younger, but it means that
Look,
but
I
you are
know
not
you got a
respecting
third
me
grade. I know you
by
got a
talking
third
to me
grade.
like that. Do you know
You
my
got a third
education
grade
level?
Bush
By telling me
education.
that you correct me
You got a third grade
that I
Bush
should not talk first,
education.
you are disrespecting me.
You got hold on. You got a third grade Bush education. But go ahead. Go ahead and say what you got.
Yeah, I know you're trying to be funny. Okay, no problem. All right. So, first of all, Liberia, if anybody who really understand history, who really understand how leadership and how politics go around the world, they will understand and they will know the definition of a colony. Liberia was an American colony that was established, and they sent their free slaves as colonists in Africa. So
Kedo, that's interesting. So, do you think they are trying to, use a different system now? Like, let's say
when are you bringing this Liberian to something else so we can talk about it?
Like for example, Burkina Faso. Do you think they are mixing in some of these blacks are like Langley? They're like U.S. assets to strike against, the defiant Africans?
It might
Because
be,
they did it in Liberia. I mean, according to what you're saying.
no, but it was different in Liberia, right? It was different. For Liberia case, they were, like those people, they were not even Americans.
So
They were,
Kedo, the
come here,
blacks,
they weren't
the
even
blacks,
Americans.
they said they civilized the Liberians.
Uh that's us. There's some truth in there.
Let me
There's
answer
some
that.
truth in there. I come in, Afro Diamonds. There's some truth in it, right? What they brought was the civilization they brought was not their civilization. The civilization they brought was their master civilization.
Oh, let
Are
me
you
ask
are
you
you, are you getting me?
for you.
The
Liberia.
civilization they brought, the
Hold on.
civilization they brought was their master civilization. And
Yeah,
the way Liberia was called before, it was called Free Black State, but
hold on.
that was a fake that was a fake identity. The real identity
Why do
of
you guys
Liberia
have the
is
same
a
flag?
free slave
Hold
state.
on,
Have the
one
It's
same
a
mic,
free
one
slave
mic.
has
state.
the same seal as the people who founded it. You can change anything because you
No,
don't
no, 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 no.
most of them.
I can prove to you I can prove to you that Liberia have nothing to do with there's no the fact that Kala was not even the Liberia have nothing to do with the in fact Liberia is not a black American colony. It's even fake. If you even follow that
Hey, yo, hold on.
It-
Hey, yo,
that-
I gotta say this. If you can mute this guy for a second, I'll clear this up. This is what happened, right? The reason why you call yourself Liberia because it meant land of liberty. What were you being liberated? Like Afrodama said a little while ago, he said we didn't go through what Malcolm X did, so we didn't go through that. So Africans had no reason to call themselves liberated because they were not slaves. They were not impressed. So when they get to Liberia, they said this is a land of liberty. That's all. You call yourself Liberians because I don't know. You guys adopted the culture. Now Liberia is a West civilization transplanted in Black Africa, right? The reason why you guys can't get it together is because your culture, Western civilization, cannot. That's why you got failure all over the country.
Who's breathing?
all right. So
No, that's the truth. You look. The thing is that you said on the show last time that you don't consider yourself Liberian or African, right? In the modern world, right? The modern black race, white race, considers themselves by race. Nationality and race is the modern world. So if I live in the United States, guess what? I'm an American. Whether
But
I like it or not.
wait.
Wait,
I come in.
hold on, wait.
Afrodamos. This man, Afrodamos, Mr. Genesis is explaining something. I need to respond to him, right? Because there's a very important thing. It's about our nation. I need to talk about it so that others can hear about it too. Please, can I talk?
Okay, go ahead, make it quick.
I wouldn't take long. Yes, I was talking today, but it's just that he started to talk on it, and I gave him chance to talk. So I said today, Liberia. First of all, just how in Africa we like to say we gain independence, right? But I always like to say that we never ready. We are still colonists because what the Europeans did with us was they just gave us a free colony. The countries in Africa are free colonies. They say we're crying for freedom. They say we will still maintain our colonies, but it will be a free colony. They will control it. Yeah, but it will still be our
Hold on.
colonies. That was the same
Hold
thing
on. Why? How the
thing with
Europeans
that
gonna
was the same thing
colonize
with
you?
the black.
I thought
I come in.
Africans were
That was
free.
the same thing with the black Americans, all the blacks in the
Yeah,
diaspora. The blacks
we
in the
colonized
diaspora,
you. I get it.
they
Yeah,
were
we
the blacks in
colonized
the.
you. Look. I get it. We colonized you. Yeah, I know that. So what? What are you gonna do about it?
Man, Carla, here's the problem. Today, on Afridamas channel, using the word that many American in
As they said,
America
it will still be our. But
Hold
we'll
on,
give them freedom.
refuse
Ghetto.
to
Hold on,
agree.
What
Ghetto.
bush meat?
I'm
What bush meat
So
babble?
what? So refuse to agree that this is exactly what happened in Liberia. I don't want to. I
I
don't. No,
would
no.
say
I
like
don't.
this.
No,
Look,
no, no,
I
no,
come in.
no,
I'm not.
no,
I'm
no.
not. I'm not. I'm
No,
not
James,
trying
no,
to.
listen,
I'm not
you
trying
got,
to
you
talk
got, you
against
got,
you.
say, James, hold up.
you
I
got
would say
Carla,
like
you
this.
got Carla
No
mini
matter what
me's.
I say,
No, 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 you got
I
Carla
say,
mini me's.
over the years, I tried to reconcile. Now I'm
No,
like
no,
this. You know
no, no,
something?
no,
We did colonize you.
no, 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 no,
We
no.
went to war.
Okay,
Hold up. We went to
that's
the
it.
war and we crushed every last single native people and
Thank
made
you,
them submit. How about
thank
that?
you, thank you for the,
Well,
for,
that's what we
thank you,
did. We
thanks for
won. We
this.
conquered. Oh yeah, we
Afrodamos.
Right.
conquered.
Thanks for
Hold
the
up. We
statement.
conquered you. We
That's all.
conquered you.
It's
And the
it's
bottom
not a
line is,
debate,
we
Carla.
conquered you, and we built a civilization, a country.
Thank you, thank you.
You
Thanks
know.
for the
So
statement
what?
you made.
So what? Now what are
No,
you gonna do about
get
it?
Carla, get the emotion out
But
of
hold
it.
up. But now hold up. Now hold up. Now
Get
what?
the
Now what are you gonna do
So
get
about
the
it?
that's
Carla,
not clear, right?
Carla.
I say
You can't reverse. You can't
Get the
reverse
emotion out of it so we can have
Hold up. You can't
a
reverse history.
great
Kala,
conversation.
So what do you guys want me to? You want me to
Mr.
cry
Kala.
over you?
That is the
No.
reason why you see
Look.
you
One
blacks
mic,
don't.
one mic.
You
Look.
blacks still have
In
problem
life, there's
because
victors
you
and
don't want to.
Hold
victors.
You
on.
We were
don't
the
want to humble
victors.
yourself to learn.
We were
You
winners.
don't want
We
to humble
won.
yourself to learn. You need to humble yourself to learn.
Our side won. Your side lost.
That is not
Carla,
even a
Carla.
civilization. That's your master civilization.
We have a lot of African here who are agreeing with you, and I'm part of that. The winner take all. I get it. I don't
Their
disagree with you.
master.
I don't
Uh,
disagree with
uh,
you.
So when you lose, you lose. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
no,
This is
I
what people were
disagree with
doing on the
Kala.
continent. So you haven't done
I
anything different.
disagree. I disagree with
Start
Mr.
winning some
Kala
wars.
Genesis.
Start winning some wars. Then you get somewhere.
Hold on. So
Mr. Kala
Kala,
Genesis.
wait,
Mr.
hold on.
Kala Genesis.
Ghetto, wait. So
Yeah.
Kala, then you would accept that Samuel Doe also won, right?
Oh yeah, look, I would say like this. Let me say this and make it very clear. I said this to Elvis, right? I said the American Liberians had 35, only really 35 years, right? From
No,
1945 to 1940.
140,
No. The first 100 something years, they were under duress. But after
No, but
1945,
Kala, don't act like what. Don't
hold on.
do it
Let me
like
finish.
what some
Let me
chicks
finish.
would
Hold on, bro.
do.
Let me
They'll be
finish.
like it doesn't count because
Afrodamus. Let me
they didn't
Afrodamus.
enjoy it. Come on.
Afrodamus. Modern Liberia was only 35 years old.
No,
1945 to
but
1980. That's all you
but
have. Yeah, modern
before
Liberia.
1980
Before that,
existed. Hold on,
there was
hold
no.
on,
Look,
Kala,
hold up.
Kala.
Afrodamus.
It existed for 140
Yeah,
years
I
before
know, but
1980.
hold up. It existed, right? But the thing is, Liberia wasn't a signature or a partner with the Rothschild banks and the Wall Street banks and whatnot.
Yeah,
So it was basically on
but
its
the
own.
blacks were still in charge.
Yeah, but the bottom line, but you got a small number of blacks who had no money.
And it did
Yeah,
nothing for the country.
And what money didn't
They did
start coming
nothing
in
at
until
all.
1945.
The country is
We're
highly
talking about
underdeveloped.
1945 to 1980. That's it. 35 years. Other than that, Liberia was
no,
a
but
poor state, destitute
Kala,
state.
but Kala, who was in charge?
Yeah, but hold on. You want to know who's in charge? Mostly the native people lived in their own communities and their own areas. They control most of the land. Even to this day, most of the land is controlled by indigenous native people in
Yeah,
Liberia.
but who was conducting the
But
international
the
trade?
natives had their own commerce,
Yeah,
their own everything.
the blacks were able to generate a lot more income
no. I don't think.
because
Look,
because
Afrodamus.
they traded.
I think you're talking to somebody who knows the country, bro.
But
You're
but what I'm
misinformed.
saying, what about the
You're
ships?
misinformed. You're
The
misinformed.
ships.
What you're
What
trying to
about the
do?
ships?
Hold on. What you're trying to do is it, and also, do you understand that the
What
native
about the
people?
ship registration? Who was registering them?
Hold on. There was in the government in the beginning. You know that? In 1904, President Howard, his vice president was a native man. King
That's not true.
Massaquoi, right? A King, Muslim king. He almost won the presidency in the 1920s. You know, so natives were always involved in the country from day one. You
Are
know,
you sure?
the native
I will
elite,
check that out.
educated elite, were part of the government.
I will check that out. I'm not sure. I'll check that out.
And so
But
your tribe, Cato, probably wasn't, but the Vai people, the Golas, the Basas, the Grebos, and the Vai people had elite educated. Matter of fact, the two most
I'm a
powerful
man.
families in Liberia. Hold up. You know hold up. You want to know who the most powerful family in Liberia always was?
Hold on,
It was the
guys.
Massaquoi.
Let's not distract from the
The
actual
Massaquoi.
topic. I'll have to bring a special.
Hold up. The Massaquoi clan was the most powerful family in Liberia, and they were Vai people, Muslim people. You know, they were the most
I
educated,
know,
most powerful family
Mr.
in Liberia.
Genesis.
So how could
But
that
you
happen? You
guys
guys
were
don't know what
still
you're
in
talking about.
charge.
You
You
know,
guys were still in charge. You guys were still in charge.
what
But the
doesn't
problem
matter?
there is America sent
Can I say something real quick?
America created a colony and sent a free
I'm watching
slave there
college
for
football.
them.
Wait, Bang.
Yeah, okay.
What did you want to say, Bang?
Yeah, let me say something real quick, man.
If you found a build a country,
Let me
I
say
came
something
before
real
Kala,
him.
quick,
wait.
man.
Hold on, Kala.
And
be in trouble.
the so-called civilized, you say it's civilized us, it was not your civilization, it was a master civilization. It was a master
Let me
civilization.
say something real quick, man, because I'm watching college football. I'm gonna leave you guys alone, man. Man, Kato's, man. Kato's, man. I'm kind of shocked, man. You gonna allow these people to talk to you like that? Man, don't you, man? You been an African, man? Don't allow Carlos to talk to you like this, man. Talk about
I'm not
him and his
I'm
people
not
talking
I'm
to
not
y'all,
listen.
civilized
No,
y'all. Look at the word he was
I'm not
saying.
Hold on, guys. Let's go back to the topic, please.
Carlos,
Hold on.
man,
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
man.
let's do that.
Mute.
Don't let him
no,
talk
listen,
to
Let's
you
go
like
to.
listen.
Elvis, man.
Hold
I'm
on.
not
Nah, don't
allowing
let him talk to
listen
you like
the
Elvis, man.
problem.
That little bitch. Don't let him talk to you like Elvis, man. Come
Okay,
on,
thank
man.
you. Let's bring in
Come on, man.
The
civilized
problem
man.
is he's just shouting. I know he think that I know being the loudest in the
Kato,
room
it's my
will
turn
make
to
him
speak.
to seem like the best, right? But he's just shouting. He don't want to give me a chance to talk. But if he give me a chance to talk, I'll prove him. I'll make him to know. But he's just trying to be the loudest in the room. That's what's happening.
Because he came for war. You couldn't tell he came for war, man. Man, Carlos, you know.
Man, go ahead.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
I see you're muted there, Afri Damas.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
can you
Go
guys
ahead.
hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Civilized man, what do you want to
Okay.
add on to this topic about?
Yeah, let me.
Burkina Faso. Let's stick with the original topic because we've been in almost 3 hours. So let's get on the topic so we can get to the wrapping up part. Go ahead.
Okay, let me start by greeting everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat. So yeah, I came here because you mentioned something earlier about how you suspect that the US is trying to get rid of the blacks and bring them here into Africa.
Yes.
And this is like the beginning stages of their plan.
Are you calling from South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say. Go.
So yeah, I've also been thinking the same thing lately. Like, it seems like too much of a coincidence. I mean, let's think about it. So in 2018, we had Black Panther. What did it do? It created African pride in Black Americans, right?
Right.
And then the following year, we have the Year of Return
in Ghana,
telling Black Americans that, hey, you can come to Africa. So, number one, a lot of Black Americans didn't identify with Africa, right? They just identified as being Black. So, Black Panther was trying to create a bridge mentally for them to start sort of seeing themselves as Africans. And then the year after Black Panther, suddenly they are being called back to Africa.
Right.
And then when they go there, you start seeing these high, A-list celebrities also coming and getting citizenship in these countries.
Because Spike Lee was in Ghana in 2019 and he pops up in Benin now, 2025. So, it's something to definitely look into.
So you mentioned earlier that why are they so insistent on trying to get citizenship?
Right.
Right. So initially, my thought was that they are trying to see how much they can, like how much privilege being an American gives them. Like, how much are these guys willing to bend over in order to please me for being an American? That's what I used to think.
To see if the Africans are gonna bend over for them.
Jay, hold up.
Yeah, initially, I used to think that, but now I'm seeing it differently.
99% of us don't.
Hold on, Carla. Let me finish my points.
Africa, it's like having African currency in your pocket, man. It's worthless, What the fuck is African citizenship?
Exactly. I'm gonna get to that.
Hold on, Carla. Let him finish real quick. Go ahead.
So initially, that's what I thought. I thought they were just trying to test us to see how much power they have over us, right? But now I'm starting to think about it differently. Like, why do the celebrities themselves have citizenship? So let's take the latest case of Ciara in Benin, right? So, I mean, how much clout does the president of Benin have? Does he really have like the pull to bring Ciara into Benin, number one? Number two,
I forgot about Ciara. And, something also stood out. They said, it's through the National Geographic. You remember National Geographic used to show the animals, hotel places, safaris, and remote tribes. But why is the National Geographic involved in this? It's all white, white newscasters, Europe.
Because it's being controlled by the white people. They just defeat us.
Yeah, it's the white people doing it.
Yeah, the white people control.
So the point I'm making,
just like Liberia.
Yeah. So the point I'm making here is this: like, does the president of Benin really have the power to convince, number one, Ciara to come to Benin, some dusty, undeveloped African country? Number two,
no. It's her white masters.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Like, was it really him? Like, if, like, let's say she's sitting in a mansion and she gets a call and they say, "Oh, it's the president of Benin."
Can I ask you all?
I don't think it's something that will like.
Scholars on this panel, you esteemed scholars who I highly regard, right? What the hell does white people gain from being Benin? What does Benin have?
No, they are saying.
Hold on. I'm still making my point.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
still
not
making my
that
point.
serious. You guys act like
No,
there's
Yeah,
nothing
I'll
to
answer that
behold.
after.
There's nothing to
Hold on,
behold.
Kala.
They super
Kala,
poor.
let him answer. Wait,
They
let
super
him
poor,
answer,
man. They don't
Kala.
have nothing. They super poor. Super poor.
Yeah, let me
You're
continue.
nothing. So
So
what the hell? Yo,
Hold
listen,
on, let
Man,
him
just
finish.
like
liberals don't
the
have.
just like the
you know,
whole
that's a,
African countries.
yes, you are
they're
right.
going to be
Super
great.
poor.
Hold on,
super
guys.
poor.
Guys, let him finish his point.
I want to let you don't know that Benin
So
have what Liberia don't
the only
have.
people
You have
please,
almost
Cairo,
more than a
please.
century to rule Liberia, and Liberia look like that.
Hold on,
Liberia
Kedo,
look,
No,
the
you guys
oldest
Kedo,
look
let
like
Liberia
him
the
used to be
finish.
youngest.
beautiful until your people
Kedo,
took
let
it
him
over.
finish.
You know, Liberia used
Hold
to be
on.
beautiful until your people took it
Carla,
over.
hold on.
That's
Carla,
true.
Carla,
You know,
hold on.
That's a big
that's
fat
why I
lie.
go to Liberia
I'll
and say,
attend
what
to
the
you once
hell?
I'm done making my point.
You guys are the one who fucked the country up, man. So stop it.
You must be a fool
So
to
the
think
only
that way.
people who have the power, come on, Cairo,
Everybody knows that.
let's stick to the
Everybody looks
topic.
at pictures and videos from the 1960s and 70s and said, "What the hell was this Liberia?" Everybody can't believe it's the same country. Like, what the
Then
fuck?
what
Yeah,
happened to the growth of our development? What happened to the growth of our
No,
development?
you guys don't know how to govern. Like I said, you
No,
guys are
no, no, no.
primitive
You guys
people.
were in
neither
power.
do
You
you,
have growth
Carla.
for our
Hold on. You
development.
guys are primitive
Liberia
Guys,
had
people
a Liberia
trying
had
to
a high
govern a
growth
Western
but very poor
country.
development. One of the among the poorest in the
You
world
guys
with
are
high
primitive.
economic growth. Because the money
hold
was
on.
just circulating
People.
Guys,
among you few elites,
Kato, man,
among the
don't
free
be like
slaves that they
Elvis.
sent to
Have you guys
Liberia.
stayed in the?
The
Don't
money
be
was
like
circulating
Elvis.
among the free slaves they sent to Liberia.
Represent us.
Come on, guys, I'm still
Represent the
talking here.
Africans,
Cairo,
man.
hold on.
Cairo,
Don't
Hold
be
on,
like
Kedo.
Elvis.
Hold
Don't
on.
be
I'm
like
still
Elvis,
talking.
man. Represent us.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let
Bang,
civilized
hold on.
man finish and we can.
Yeah, let me finish my point. So the only logical explanation is the only people who can like get Ciara to do something like out of a comfort zone is her bosses at the record label or in Hollywood
Handlers.
or
We
the
call
US
them the
government.
handlers.
Yeah, basically. It's those two people, Hollywood and the government.
Yeah.
So if they were the ones who are convincing these celebrities to get citizenships, the reason they're doing it is to use them to encourage the blacks, the normal ones, to also get citizenship. And I think the reason they're doing this is because when they dump them there, they want to make it how do I say it? They don't want any obstacles in their way. They want to like we dump them and they're automatically citizens. That's why they're pushing for the citizenship thing. For the day they dump them there.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. Why what do they want from Burkina Faso?
Yeah, so I think, and this is still just the beginning of the plan, I think their end goal is actually South Africa. Because let's face it, the people at the CIA, they know what Africa
There's a
is
lot
like.
of
All of it.
there's a lot of people there in South Africa. So
Yes, and the guy who started the
some
movement to South Africa used to work for the Secret Service. So check something else here. Majority of the people who are able to stay in Africa long term are the people who were in the military, right? And they are receiving their pensions. That's how they're able to sustain themselves.
Yes.
So why do they not get like punished for acquiring a second citizenship when they are receiving a pension from the military? It's almost like the government is encouraging it. So as for South Africa, I think their long-term plan is South Africa. They know that those countries are too undeveloped. The blacks are not going to want to go there. They will have to physically force them. So it's going to take a civil war to send them to Ghana. But South Africa, not so much, right? So I think they are like branching out. They're first going to start with Kenya, and then later they're going to go to South Africa. Under the guise of, oh, we want to be in Africa, but Ghana is not that developed, so we decided to come here. So I think that's their long-term goal overall.
You might be onto something.
Afrodimus,
if I may,
give me 1 second. 1 second. You see, Kala is saying something about, look, let's just be honest. The Black Americans in the United States, forget it, man. They're not that civilized like that. We just have to put this shit straight up. Because I be seeing Kala.
Exactly. I'm actually thinking the same way. They act like they are too civilized.
Kala, most of your people, most of people don't even have running water or lights. Some of them, these people in Alabama, forget about what you try to come into say to us, man. You start forget what you try to say here, Kala, because I see that, we roll different.
You still don't have running water.
Most of your people is somewhere in those Alabama territory, and some of them, some of them in Mississippi, man. Forget about how they live.
Carla, you can provide it to yourself.
Nigeria
You know, they live like savages. You know what I mean? They live like savages there,
Nigeria,
man.
Nigeria is the
Yeah,
open defecation
savages.
capital of the
I'm
world.
gonna say savages.
Nigeria
They look like,
is the open
you come to
defecation
sell
capital of the world.
nonsense here. You want to sell like those blacks that live
Nigeria,
in
look,
California
Nigeria is
and
the
all
open
Kala can
defecation
point us to
capital
a
of the
road
world.
that was built by black people in America.
Kala, don't come and sell us that evil dream. You want to come and sell to us, bro. You understand me? That's what I said. That's what I said. Kala,
burned it and put it out with piss.
Guys, one at a time. One at a time, please.
Okay, let me say this.
Kala, no, hold on, Kala.
Hold on, guys.
And then burned it and then put it out with piss and fire.
Guys, one mic, please. One mic, please.
Let me tell Kala this. Kala, you said you could crush the native Liberians, Kala.
Yeah, we did. Yes.
Hold on with the big shit.
We ruled them.
Hold on with the help. Hold on with the help of the white man.
You'd be lucky we didn't come to Nigeria.
With the help of the white man.
No, we didn't help the white man. We beat them ourselves.
What happened?
There is no white.
What happened inside 2000?
It was not a fair battle. It was not a fair battle. I come in, Mr. Kidola. I come in 1 minute. It was not a fair battle because first of all, they took advantage of people who were unexposed, right? It's just like I'm coming. It's just like right now when down I'm in the city. If I go into the village, obviously I will take advantage of the people in the village. That's what will happen. But what happened is after the people there in Liberia, after the natives they got education, they were exposed. Now why is that they were no longer able to take advantage of them? We flog them now. So Kala, so Mr. Kala, so then we flog you.
Oh yeah, look. Let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of the native men in Liberia. Right? I want the native men to rise and whatnot.
No. They're not natives.
No, I'm asking you a question. Didn't we beat you after we got exposed and educated? Didn't we flog you?
I want the tribe.
Yeah, women run to Ghana.
They got help by the white man. They had help by the white man.
But the bottom line is, look, man,
everything they got in Liberia because of the white man. The white man helped them.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Liberia wasn't. It's still an American colony. Liberia is just a free colony now.
Guys, moderate for a second. I got to answer something.
Guys, one mic at a time, please. Guys.
Okay, all the institutions in Liberia, who built them?
Don't go there, Kala. Don't go there. Don't go there before I disgrace you. All right,
let me talk Liberia rank.
Guys, one mic.
All right.
Do it.
Give us the ranking of the University of Liberia.
Please give me the chance. Please give me the chance to talk. Give me the chance to talk now. Give me the chance to talk.
Not be like his bitch ass refugee son.
Okay, guys.
Can you give me the chance to talk?
Guys,
can you give me the chance to talk?
Hold on, guys. One mic, please, at a time. One mic. Go ahead, Kedo, and then we're gonna go to Vanta.
All right, you guys ruled Liberia for 100+ years, and Liberia, almost all of Liberia was almost a forest. Almost all of Liberia was almost a forest. I'm coming.
45 years. You guys had it for 45
Wait now,
years.
can you give me a no? Can someone please tell Mr. Genesis to give me a chance to talk?
When my people was in Liberia, they lived in Liberia. You guys, you're so bad. You got to come to America.
But Kala, you gotta let him talk though. Let him finish and then
in America, not Liberia.
Okay.
Kala, let him talk first, please. Let me talk. You rule Liberia for 100+ years. And majority of Liberia was a complete jungle until the 90s. And after the 90s, I'm coming. Maybe I'll say the late 90s and early 2000s. The only person I know, I'm coming. Can you give me a chance? Can you give me a chance?
Kala, let him talk. Hold on, Kala, let him talk.
First of all, when they went there, what the plan they had was, because they wanted to always be in control, they never wanted the natives to get educated and exposed. So, and just how you see the other European people do in the other African countries that they colonize, they will only develop around the areas that they live, but they will not go further inland to develop because they don't want the people to get exposed. That was what they did. So, majority of the nation, most of the people were not educated. It was later that a man or one of their leader called, what is his name, William V. S. Studman, even though he tried, well, he spent 27 years in power. What out of 27 years, the amount of thing that he do that they let to brag about, it was not even much of a bit. It's just, it's not up to the thing he's supposed to do because the years he
Okay, let
spent
me
in
ask you
power
a
was so
question. Let me
long.
ask you
And
something, Kato.
after his time, the eastern part of
Hold
Liberia up
on.
to now
Do you
don't
have
have
any?
rule.
Do you
The
have
eastern
any?
part of Liberia,
Hold on. Do you
it
have
is.
a
I'm
vision
coming.
for
The eastern
Liberia?
part of Liberia, I'm coming. The eastern part of
Hold on. Do you have a
Liberia,
vision?
the
Guys,
eastern part of
Hold
Liberia,
on. Hold on.
the eastern. No,
Do you
Carla,
have a vision for
you
Liberia?
told me instead that I
Other than
should
getting
give you.
online
I told you that
complaining.
I would disgrace you, right? And you told me to go
Hold
ahead
on.
and
What's your
disgrace
vision
you.
for
So
Liberia?
can you give me the chance to
Kato,
disgrace
what's
you?
your vision for
hold
Liberia?
on, guys. Hold on, guys. Just a quick second. Can we allow Vanta to speak and then we can get back? Vanta wants to speak on the topic. Vanta, welcome to the Afridamus report.
Thank you, Afrodama. Can you hear me properly, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Very
you
good.
loud and clear.
I just want to discuss the. Listen, I'm from Somaliland. I'm Somalian.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
And wait, see, Afrodemus. I want to know about
It gets worse
Burkina
and worse.
Faso, Ibrahim
Kala, you gotta
Traore.
let him
I
talk.
wouldn't
You
even
gotta let him.
tell nobody that shit.
I'm from
Kala,
London. I currently live in London.
let him talk.
He
Go,
got
go,
his
go
own
ahead,
country.
Vanta.
He got his own country. He got his own
Yeah, go
country.
ahead,
Oh yeah,
Vanta.
okay,
Guys,
yeah. I'm sick and tired of.
guys,
He
He
got
got
his
his
own
own
country, but they
country.
live every
He got
place
his
but
own
that country.
country.
Yeah,
He
but
got
hold on,
his
but
own
guys,
you don't
money. He
live
got his
there.
own country.
You don't live there.
He got his
You
own
don't live
money. He got
there.
his own country. When will your people
You don't.
have their face in the dollar bill?
go ahead, Vanta.
Thank you, yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I am Somalian who lives in the UK, and I came up to your channel, Aphrodemus, because I saw you on CT's panel a few times,
Yeah.
and you're correct. You described it perfectly. Like Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, regarding the diaspora, he rejected deportees from America because the Black Americans don't understand when Africans say diaspora, it does not mean African American. It means Africans who live outside of Africa, anywhere that they can come back to
Right.
the motherland. They come back to the motherland, they can get a citizenship. And also Ghana has been foolish giving up passports to anyone, by the way. I've seen Indians, Lebanese, Anglos,
Chinese.
everybody's getting passports in Ghana, Afro-demons. So I do appreciate, and again, I do appreciate Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, but I don't like when African Americans think they can just wear an outfit, a beret, and think, I'm gonna go to no. When you go to Africa, you have to state your father's name. Your last name is king in Africa. Your last
Right.
name. Where are you from? What tribe are you from? Aphrodite, if I go back to Somalia, right? If I go back to Somaliland, they'll tell me, Venta, where you from? Who's your father?
Right.
What's your tribe? That we check each other as Africans. We check each other because we don't want no outsider just claiming anything. If you're gonna be African, you have to know about your African heritage in your bloodline.
Do you think even Burkina Faso, these people, they're pretending they are trying to infiltrate it to to destroy the place?
Of course, yeah. Don't forget NGOs. NGOs play a big part destabilizing a lot of countries right now. NGOs play a big part. They're doing it in Europe. They're doing it in America. They're even doing it in Africa. This whole, just send them anywhere. Why? Why? What? Like someone in the chat said earlier, there was a Gambian man who got deported to Ghana. Why is a Gambian man going deported to Ghana? Why? Why not just Gambia directly?
Yeah.
See, because the NGOs can play a part in politics and border control, Aphrodite. We need like all this black man, white man. I'm tired of black man, white man, Aphrodite. I want to focus on deeper institutions taking advantage of our current climate. There are nefarious elements affecting all of our cultures everywhere: Asia, Africa, Europe, anywhere.
Well, thank you.
Enough. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, Bang. Go ahead, Bang.
All right. I agree what he was saying. I agree everything he was saying. The previous guy. I agree everything he was saying. Because at the end of the day, that country is not safe yet. And then I know for sure you're gonna have other people, the so-called blacks. Whatever they come from around this world, they're gonna try to do whatever they're supposed to do to make sure that country does not function. But overall, man, stay away. Stay away. At the end of the day, man, stay away. If you don't speak French,
What
you know what I'm saying?
about
Like,
every last single
what's the point
person
of you trying to go over there
fine for
if you
white
don't speak
French people?
French? When you have all these other countries that speak English in West Africa that you could go to as well. So what's the point? And I know for sure the Westerners, the people that control the Western countries, they're gonna try to recruit some people to go there as a spy. I know for sure. They caught some man a couple days ago. NGOs from Netherlands as
That's a
well.
good
They
thing.
caught.
What
caught.
exactly are they spying about?
Okay, Carla. Man, Carla, please, man.
I'm
Tell your
serious,
Westerners.
man. I like to
Tell
know,
your
man.
Westerners. Okay. Let me say this fairly, right? I'll give it to you, just like you wanted it, right? Africa is poor. Africa is nothing, right? But please tell your Westerners.
Well, I'm
your
glad
masters.
we agree on something.
Hold on. Your masters, right? Whatever is your last name, was
I ain't
given
my
by
master
somebody
nothing.
else, right?
I have no masters, bro.
Okay. Whatever is your last name, right? It was given, right? That last name come from where?
No,
From
I haven't.
slave owners.
Actually, I have an
That
African
last name came
name.
from slave owners.
I adopted an
just
African last name because I used to think high.
Just like
Hold on,
Washington
I used
over
to
there.
think I used to think highly
Just
of
like
Africans.
Washington.
That's
that
why I
you
adopted an
proud
African
of
name.
in
But I'm like,
Liberia. You
yo,
proud
but
of
you guys
Liberia.
have shown me
You
over the last few
you said
years,
it
man.
10 times. You proud of Liberia. You said it 10 times.
Yeah,
you
I'm
said
proud
it
of
10
it.
times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
Just like your
Yeah, I'm proud
master.
of it.
Just like your master.
No.
Okay.
And just like Adamus talks about, he's a
Oh my
proud
God, man.
Sonike warrior, you know? And
No,
so
because
why we
his
not be
people
proud of
owns
what
it.
we are?
His people own Sonike.
So Adamus
His
says he's a
people
proud
created it.
Sonike.
His
I'm
people
a proud
created it.
African American. I
No,
don't care what
his
you
people
say, man.
created it.
My people
His
kicked ass.
name. His
My
people
people kicked
created
ass.
that thing.
My
His
people gave
people
the world
created
a
from
red tail.
scratch.
Hold on,
From
we defeated the
scratch.
Nazis
It
over at
wasn't tailored
Nuremberg.
to the white. It wasn't tailored to the white people.
Yeah, I'm
Washington,
telling you nothing, bro.
Robinson, that's to the white people. His people create everything from scratch. From
All right,
scratch. So that's
coming.
not to say.
Bang,
That's
bang,
not to say.
bang, bang.
What's up?
Let me say something. You know, one of the most evil thing that America could have ever done to Africans was somebody who still have slave mentality to send them to go be leaders for people. You know, every culture around the world, every group of people around the world have always, even psychologists have written that for a person, in order for a person, a person with a slave mentality, for them, if they lead you,
Oh yeah, okay. The ones who the people who got white Jesus all over the country. Okay.
I'm coming.
You much better.
I'm coming.
You much better.
I'm coming now. Let me just when a person with a slave mentality leads you, that person will lead you to destruction. Because first of
So
all,
is
a
that
slave,
the reason why African countries are poor?
You much
no,
better, man.
no,
Is that the reason why Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, sub-Saharan Africa is the
Sub-Saharan
poorest
Africans,
region in
we
the
all know
world?
they are being oppressed.
Is that
Sub-Saharan
Your
the
people
white
Africans
not
are being
man's
richer
fault?
than
oppressed.
us. Your people not richer than us. Stop it.
Sub-Saharan Africans are being
Your people
oppressed.
not
In
richer
fact,
than us.
Yo,
they
what you
are
know?
not richer than
Sub-Saharan
us,
Y'all
Africa is
and
ain't
they
the
are
no
not
poorest
more
money.
region in the world.
civilized than us.
Y'all ain't
Yo,
no
hold on.
money, man. Stop
Sub-Saharan,
it.
yo, look,
Stop it,
Sub-Saharan
man.
Africa
Your
is the
people,
only place in the world where kids got to.
Carla. Your people not richer than us. It will never be. Stop it, Carla, man. Stop it.
Wait,
Talk to Trump,
let
man.
me make you know something. Wait, Kala, Mr. Kala,
Go
your
call
people are also not
your refugees,
the
stepson.
civilized class that's in Africa. They are more civilized than Black Americans. Am I wrong, Mr. Genesis?
Why
Mr.
you calling him
Genesis?
Mr. Genesis, man? He disrespected your people. Come on, are you kidding me?
No,
Why are you calling
he's
him
an
Mr.
elder.
Genesis?
He's an
Yeah, but
elder. He's an elder.
why are
So
you
I
calling him
just want
Mr.
to.
Genesis? You act like
He's
you
an
know the
elder
history of
too. That's why I'm
Liberia.
keeping it
This
like
man
that
is
way.
part of the
Trust,
history of Liberia for 140 years.
So what
Why
is
you
there to
no,
calling him
brag
trust me.
about,
Mr.
man? You know?
Genesis?
When it comes to dealing with somebody
He's your
when it comes to
enemy.
somebody who
Okay, hold
disrespect
on,
me,
He's your
guys.
enemy.
I'm gonna deal with
Hold
them.
on, guys.
I will deal with them. But
Guys. Somebody's
I'm
making noise. Mute. Guys,
but I do accordingly.
guys. Let's bring in St. James. Go ahead, St. James.
Wow, that was quite interesting to listen to the Liberia conversation.
Right.
And I believe it's
Oh, it's
overdue
bad.
now.
It's
Alpha
bad. It's
Damas,
bad,
you
man.
Yes,
gotta bring the series.
yes. I
Yeah,
gotta bring this series,
yeah,
man.
yeah. You gotta bring the series and have kiddos, and we got people on deck waiting for that conversation to happen. And I
I
wish
see
that,
that. I see
yeah,
that.
But Afrodamus, let me say this real quick, right? Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Man, St. James, one second. If you're gonna have certain type of people, right? Do not bring civil Africans. Do not bring Africans to soft. That topic is not a soft topic. Liberia is not a soft topic. I don't care. Do not bring anybody that's like, no. F that. Liberia, what those people did was pure evil. What Kala people did was pure evil.
Kala is a Liberian expert, though. We will need Kala for that.
Was nothing but evil. So I do not want no South Africans that come up here with that topic.
I will come with my facts.
Don't be nice. Do not be nice.
Ask a question. Hey, Ahmed, let me ask you a question. Okay, you called evil, right? So you telling me using an outhouse, it was.
Yeah, Kala has an AOL, bro.
Yeah, Kala got that.
No.
They like to act like, you know.
No. Don't worry. I've done my homework on him. I've done my homework on Liberia now. I am 3 times more sharper about Liberia. When I did my homework, those people are nothing.
Guys, hold on, guys. Allow St. James to land the plane.
My bad. St. James, go ahead.
No. Kala was asking me a lot of questions about my stance on Burkina Faso, and my reasoning is simple. Afadamas, you were here online as Marsha was here online in 2020. Did you hear any Black American trying to go to Burkina Faso?
No.
Yeah, but you.
Okay. No, Kala. Let me finish. Let me finish. Kala was amongst the people that gave. No, Kala, hold on, check it. Hold on.
You want Black Americans?
Kala was amongst the people that gave my country a name, right?
Right.
He was demeaning, disrespectful. He said all these things, right? And throughout the years, what did I say? Nothing. Because
who's this?
You. Hold on, you. I got the name. You know the name. You know the name. Hold on. Listen. How many times did you make our conversation personal? Every time we had a discussion, you take it to the country. How many times did you do that? How many times did you apologize? How many times did you come? How many times did you have to apologize for the things that you said? And I said, this is not. Let me finish.
My point I'm trying to make is we brought up the concept of Cuddy. You lambasted me for discouraging Cuddy for being. I said he should bring his black ass back to the United States. Get a job.
No, okay.
You said, no, Kala, it said, now you're up here telling me.
Who am I, right, Kala? Who am I to be in this man's pocket? Who are you to be in this man's pocket? This guy literally. No. Come on, let me. Can we listen? No. Afadamas.
Yeah.
When I came on here today, based on everything that I said, was I discouraging people to go to Burkina Faso?
Yeah, you were. That's what I got.
That was your takeaway from what I said?
That's what I got from you.
I don't want. No. I was talking. Kala. I was talking to people.
Going there, right?
I was talking to these people who don't do their research. We jump on the first bandwagon when people are trying to sell them a bridge. That's what I said. If you are well studied, no. If you are well, oh my God. You see, Kala. I don't want to do this because Afadamas put the name of my country on this show. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to cut people off. I want you to understand where I come from.
Let him finish. Kala.
I don't. There are a lot of things I can address right now and be disrespectful. I could do it easily, but I don't want to do it because the name of the country is there, and I have a lot of people that are listening to me. I don't want to sound disrespectful. But based on what I said, I'm talking about all these people who are not prepared to confront the things that are on the land, on the ground. I have seen a Black American in Burkina Faso. He's back in America. I don't want to give his name. He made those mistakes. This is what I was referring to. So I never discourage anybody, but at the same time, right? The media has this country on the news.
Right.
There is not denying about it, right? I'm not gonna come on here and lie to you about exactly what's happening on the north side of the country. Okay, go ahead, man.
Burkina Faso got on the map with that JT the bigger figure, right?
What map? What map? A Black American map? Your map?
Okay, hold on. What I'm saying is this.
That's funny, Black American man.
Okay,
That's
hold on.
funny.
What I'm saying is this. So I just want to know one thing. There's some black people in America, for some reason, they like Traore, right? They think
Okay.
he's a hero, well, like
Okay.
that. They just want to go there, and in the videos I see a lot of them on TikTok. All
Mm-hmm.
they're doing is going there and just
Mm-hmm.
enjoying themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and just say I'm having a good time, vibing with the
Right.
culture. I'm
Right.
learning, but like that, they're not saying they're trying to get involved with politics. They're saying I just feel at peace, whatever, like that. Why take that from them?
Did I? Did I ever?
No, well, what I'm saying is,
Actually, these are
the
the people
conversation
that are.
tonight. Hold up, the conversation tonight was Afrodamus was saying these people, blacks, were silly. They don't know nothing about Africa. They
I didn't say they were silly.
He didn't say that. He
Chidola
didn't
gets
say
on
that.
here and ridicules them, saying these are blacks are different. They're like that. And also,
But Carla, I didn't
Afrodamus,
say that though.
and then Afrodamus, man, don't back up what you said, bro.
No,
And
no,
then
no. I was
then
listening.
you went up
He
here and
didn't
said
say that.
that the
Afrodamus didn't
blacks
say
in
that, man.
America
He
are
didn't say
too
that.
detached from
I
Africa.
said it.
No,
I
relax,
said
man.
it.
He didn't say that.
Hold on.
Relax.
Kala,
They're too
Kala,
far removed from the continent and everything.
Kala,
And
I said it,
you
Kala.
say
I
you
said what you
came
go
to
do about it,
America
Kala.
and you're
You put
enjoying
spirit,
America. Why
Kala.
would you want to go to Africa and all stuff like this? And I'm saying, okay, these people. And look, I say what you're worried about this. I think these people are in good faith. Good people, good faith. Just wanted to say, look, if that's our ancestral homeland, let me be part of it. Leave them alone. You guys. The conversation I heard tonight, man, was disgraceful. I sat back and listened.
There is nothing disgraceful about what we said. Maybe
No,
you
it is
misunderstood.
disgraceful. It is disgraceful.
Maybe
Go back
you
and listen to the
misunderstood
talk.
the statement.
It
And
was
and then
disgraceful. It's
you
disgraceful.
see,
You can be like, I don't agree with it, but if these people,
Based on
that's
what
what
we
they
said,
want to do.
based on what we said today, right? Compare that to the amount of video that you saw today coming from Black Americans' mouth. Which one is
But
disgraceful?
what are you talking about? What are you talking
No, no,
about?
no. I'm not gonna give names tonight because
Okay, hold on. But what is that guy?
I don't want to even tie
Hold up.
these
Wait, hold
people's
up.
name to what's going on today.
This is another
Because
thing. What is some ignorant black people on YouTube
I'm gonna back. I'm gonna
doing?
back
These two
that's what
people saying they're going to come to Africa. What is that?
Carla,
Why pick on them? Why pick on them?
you still not understanding the bigger issue that we are trying to
Hold on.
point out.
Why are you
You're still
taking your
not trying to understand
hatred?
the bigger
Hold on.
issue.
Why are you taking your
Carla,
hatred
relax, man.
for
Listen
some
to
black
St. James,
Americans who
Carla.
are
Listen to
ignorant
I
St.
have
out on these?
listen.